Afternoon. Welcome to Instant Spurs episode 25. How's everybody doing on this Easter Sunday? Happy Easter to everybody. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to everyone watching at home. Hope you're all keeping well. Eugene, I know you ain't got long, so I'm going to bring you in a minute. Big up to you, mate, and big up to TJ as well for joining us. I'm going to put the link in the chat. Free for all this afternoon if anybody wants to jump on and get involved with the chat. Chat Spurs, chat Zerbi, chat relegation battle. Yeah. Lots to talk about, guys. But big up to everyone. Eugene, how you doing, man?
You're on mic, my friend. You're on mute. Amen.
Yeah, doing well. Of course, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you're around the world watching this, right? Can't hear me, guys?
Yep.
Yeah, we can.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yep.
We can hear you,
man.
All right, there's a slight delay from my side. Yeah, all right, I guess there's a slight delay from my side because I think I'm using the... Yeah, that's good. All right, just good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever around the world, right? So, guys, we're back to Spurs again, 3 weeks off, no football, and we're all bored to death, apart from all the drama surrounding the club, right?
Never ending drama.
Just got a message from Guy. All right, Guy, okay, yeah. Didn't sleep much, so cancel the show. Oh my God.
Oh, big up, man. Big up. Cheers, Eugene, for coming on, mate.
Yeah. Breaking news.
Breaking news, yeah. TJ, how are you doing, man?
All well. Yeah. Let's see what we can talk about today, right? Yeah.
There's such a delay, Eugene, man. Such a delay with you. Like I thought you'd finished talking, and then yeah, you kept on going, man. Anyway, thank you, Eugene. TJ, mate, how are you?
I've been good, man. I just woke up. You woke me up, in fact. But I'm great, man. I'm great. Thanks for having me on. It's been a long while since we've been on the last show. You know, it's ironic because the last show you had me on, and I remember vividly, it was under the Frank tenure. You know how you were trying to convince me this Frank was the poch, but it's been a long while. It's been a long while. So thanks for having me on, man. We need to do more shows. It's just our time, our scheduling is just all over the place. But yeah, I've been good, my friend.
Yeah, cheers, man. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, thank you. And Mark joined us as well, mate. How you doing, Mark? It's been a while.
I'm very good, mate. How about yourselves?
We're all right.
Yeah, big up, Mark. Big up.
Hello, nice guys. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go chat. Sue's here in this Easter Sunday. Big up to Rodney. Big up to all Coys, Lange out, Enoch out as always. Big up to you, man. Big up to Cookie. Big up down the list. Like, subscribe to his Super Spurs channel. Cheers, man. Hope you're good, Cookie. Hope you're good, man. Big up to Ellie as well. Ellie, thank you for the promo. Hope you're good. Just cooking, but done the main promo hits for Dan so far. Cheers. Thank you very much. I'll put the link in there. I'm going to try and pin it to the top of the chat in a minute so people can join us. Big up to Liam Hennessy. How you doing? I've had this optimistic feeling many times before. I just hope it comes to fruition this time, Coys. Big up, Liam. Big up to everyone watching, and hope you're all good. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new. I'll put Eugene's and TJ's links in the chat at some point, and so yeah, go and subscribe to them as well. Cookie says, still out there and we'll be home soon and jump on. All right, mate. Cheers, mate. Hopefully we'll speak to you soon. All right, so look where we're going to start tonight. I think, I just think, if you look at the kind of press, you look at the media, rival fans, they want Spurs to go down. They do, I think. I think they want Spurs to go down. Don't be careful what they say. Trying to convince us all that this Zerbi is the wrong appointment, risk, gamble, huge risk, good manager, wrong time, all sort of thing. You've seen it all online, talking about Zerbi and they don't care about us. Yeah, the press, people online, especially rival fans, they don't give two shits about Spurs. Right? They don't. And and they'll be happy for Spurs to go down because it's so much kind of press coverage for them. It's a huge story. Spurs getting relegated, and part of me thinks, everyone knows my feeling on ENIC. I can't stand them, but part of me is like, I want us to stay up. I want Zerbi to work, just to throw it back in their face. To be honest, that's what I think, guys. What do you make of it? Eugene, we'll go with you first, mate, because you're going off soon.
Yeah, to tell, okay, I guess I'll be in a slight delay before you guys can hear me, right? But just be patient there. To tell the truth, right? What you're saying, Dan, that the rival fans want us to go down and all that. To tell them, right? If I was in their shoes, I would want them to go down too, right? It's like we want Arsenal to bottle everything, right?
Yeah.
And they've been coming through with their bottling jobs, right? They bottled the Carabao Cup. And they bottled the FA Cup last night, right? And let's see where it goes from there. As for being now in this position, like the last on Friday, I had a big back and forth with TJ regarding the Zerbi. I was saying I don't care how much money's been spent and all that. The only thing now is that let's hope we do get that new manager bounce that we are actually hoping for, right? And I do have a bit of confidence that we might be able to pull out of this conundrum that we're in now because, right, we brought in the Zerbi. They've actually put him in a long-term contract to try to put it as a positive note that even if we get relegated, he's still around. And to tell the truth, even before when he signed, right, I was already arguing, saying about all the relegation clauses and what will happen, right? I mean, the pay package, put it aside, it doesn't matter because we are fans, right? Whatever happens to the club, right, in the end of the day, like I've been saying, I want us to stay up deep down inside, right? But if we go down, it might be a need, right, for the owners to wake up. But if they've brought in the Zerbi, right, maybe that's one sign to show that, okay, they've made so many mistakes after sacking Daniel Levy, right? Because now we've always been saying the comparison between ENIC and Levy, who was actually running the club, right? Guys, you must make, I understand. ENIC and the Lewises actually holds the finances, but in the end of the day, Daniel Levy still makes the decisions. You get what I'm saying? Not because he was given a free hand to do what he wanted to do, right? And of course, in the money wise about signing players and the blah 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 and all that, maybe he could have been a bit tied up, but in the end of the day, it is what it is. Like I've been saying, right? We are in this position now, right? We need the fans to be the 12th man, right? Please don't abandon the players when things are not going right in the stadium, And, I guess all you guys will agree with me, right? What's the point of having the parade outside, 20,000 people cheering the bus, right? And there's a bus gate now. We don't even know whether the players were in the bus, right? And when we are 2-0 down in the stadium half empties itself, right? And what was it? We had Henry, a Crystal Palace fan, on the Friday show with Hotspur, right? Hotspur TV, big up to Hotspur too, right? He was saying, I don't think this, and I'm saying this too. I don't think Spurs fans are actually adapting to a relegation battle. When you're fighting relegation, right, you never abandon your team, right? Even Henry, the Crystal Palace fan, said, we won't walk out. We have to stay with the team because we are the ones that actually give, right, the players the initiative, the heart, the passion. If the fans show that, then maybe the players will show it. But we've been seeing this going on for too long. I tell you, guys, last season, no matter how shitty we were, right? How many fans walked out the stadium under Ange, right? But this season, right, under Frank, right, when it was going wrong, right, that walking out mentality and I think it's turning the culture, right, has started. And the sad part is Tudor came in and he didn't do much shit too, so it carried on. But now we've brought in the Zerbi, right? I really, really hope that the fan base, the home fans, right? If things get bad and tough, don't walk out. Because if you keep walking out, right, then we'll get relegated because there's no passion there, there's no compassion there, right? There's no, the fans are not showing the heart. I understand it goes both ways, right? The players must show it too, right? So for the fans to to give it back, right? At this moment in time, as I see it, put aside all the other things, right? Focus on one thing: getting out of this relegation battle. That's all. If we can win the next 1 or 2 or 3 games, that will give us a bit of relief. But that's the big if, because it comes down to the part is that West Ham plays first. If they beat Wolves, they will jump us. And when we fall into that 18th spot, when was the last time we were in the 18, 19, 20th spot? If I'm not mistaken, it was under one day Ramos. Correct? That's when we just won the League Cup.
Yeah,
And that's
right.
when he got sacked, if I'm not mistaken. Right? And we brought back, I'm not sure whether we were in any other scenario. Right? I think that's when we brought in Redknapp. Was it Redknapp? Yeah.
Yep.
That's when we brought in Redknapp, right? To pull us back up and to bring us back to where we are. And to tell the truth, right? There's no team too big to go down. And I've been saying that last 2 years ago, right? I've been talking about relegation last 2 years ago, and nobody wants, when I'm saying it, it's no big deal, right? But now we're in this situation now, right? Now the fans are waking up, right? When Conte left, I said burn it all down. It's pointless because the Levy and the owners ain't showing the ambition of the manager that you bring in. Then why you bring in a Conte? Then you don't bring in a Conte. Then you don't sack him. You don't back him. Then you sack him. Of course, he's going to get frustrated. And the worst part is that, right? Everybody is saying that the Zerbi, right, is worse than Conte. His demands, right? The things that he will do, right? But hopefully now we're not run under Levy, but ENIC is running the club. Let's hope ENIC backs De Zerbi. And if De Zerbi wants Vinay gone and he wants Lange gone, they have to go too. Because at this moment in time, we don't look like we have people with the football intelligence running the club, right? We left it too long to sack Frank. It's either you sack him or you stick with him. But in the end, we went halfway, we sacked him. We bring in Tudor, right? And to tell the truth, for me, I gave Tudor 3 games, right? By the time the Crystal Palace game came along, I said, nah, Tudor can't be here. He has to go. The players aren't playing for him, right? But of course, when we get a 1 point at Anfield, the whole fan base flip-flops again, right? It is what it is. But of course, the A Madrid game, then it papered over the cracks again. Then when the Nottingham Forest game came along, everything resurfaced again. We come back to square one. But if we bring in the Zerbi now, we will have to back him no matter what, right? Until even if we get relegated, we will still have to back him. We have no choice. He signed a 5-year contract without a relegation clause, right? Which a lot of us have been arguing about. Is that a smart thing or not a smart thing, right? I'm not sure, because all I can say, I will give the same 3 games to De Zerbi, right? To see whether he has gotten the players on board. And if he hasn't, I will still have to stick with him because, right, at this moment in time, we can't sack De Zerbi anymore. Guys, I was saying bring Ange back, right? If at least we bring Ange back as an interim, maybe we get a kick. The boys will do something, right, under him as an interim, then work on to next season, then bring back Poch or whatever, right? You guys want, the owners wanted to do, right? But now, as I can see this, we have to back the manager and we have to back the players out there, right? And if De Zerbi is the type of manager, the intelligence, and he can suss out what is good, what is not good, right? Then I hope when the time comes, right, if the VDV, the Romeros, and the big players, right, are not putting in a shift for him, right, I hope he has the balls to bench them or don't even put them in the squad. Because to tell the truth, our players, right, have been letting us down for too long and there's no action taken on it. Frank was too soft. right? Tudor, they say he was too hard, but to tell the truth, right? The players will not respect Tudor because he wasn't a long-term appointment. He's an interim appointment, right? So that's what I got to say now, guys. I'm not from London. I'm in Malaysia, right? The best I can do is do watch-alongs and try to support, the club. The best I can do is try to rally the Malaysian Spurs fans, right, to go to an outlet like where usually I do my watch-alongs in a mamak store or mamak restaurant, right, to support the team there, And it's been a very difficult job to do that because you guys will have known, right? You have seen me many times alone in the mamak restaurant doing watch-alongs because no Malaysian Spurs fan even want to come out to give their time to support the team, right? Because why? If they watch it at home, right, they're not happy, right? All they will do is switch off the television and walk away.
Eugene,
You know what I'm saying?
Someone else have a go, man.
Right.
Let
So
someone else speak, man.
for the
You've gone on
Spurs fans in the stadium,
a 10-minute
we
rant.
have to show the support.
Cheers, Eugene, man. Thank you, Eugene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Are you off?
You know what? Can I be honest with you? I was letting him go on because there's so many things I disagree with him.
Thanks for having me on. I'll catch up with you guys later then.
See you later. Bye bye. Look, sorry, TJ. Yeah.
I was letting him go on because there's so many things that I disagree with.
I'll make a move, right? But TJ will disagree with me. I know we've been going back and forth on this, right?
100%.
Cheers, man.
100%, my friend. See you later. Yeah, no. The reason why I didn't cut him out because I wanted for him to say his full take.
Yeah, I'll catch you later then, right? I'll call you.
See you later.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. All right, guys.
See you later.
EJ. Wow.
Listen.
Okay, one thing I want to say about his take
All right,
was,
guys, take care. Have a good show.
Bye, Eugene.
He's still there. See you later, my friend. One thing I wanted to say about his take, and it's not going to be a ramble, innit? I'll be honest with you.
Before you do,
go for it.
let's welcome in Rowley. Yeah, Rowley's here. Big up,
yeah,
Rowley,
sorry,
mate. How you doing?
How you doing, mate? All right?
Yeah, thank you for joining us, man.
You're welcome, man.
TJ, over to you, buddy.
Yeah, no, I just want to nitpick from certain things that Eugene said, to be honest with you. There's many segments in his whole thing that there was many points where I disagreed and I agreed with him. But the main thing that he said, and I think he was talking about the contract, the 12 to 50 million pound contract that the Zerbi has is, for me, a total risk. We are committing a whole entire future on this one manager. And hear me out when I say this. Look, I want to just make it clear for a lot of viewers, I think Zerbi is a great tactician, he offers a lot. He's very versatile. He's improved many players, McAllister, for example, Matoma, Mazes Concedo, that's his name, yeah? These players have improved. These players have improved massively under him. But it's just the contract itself, because it's come at a time where it's very risky for Tottenham. Whether you're in the camp of, and I know there's people that want us to get relegated for change or whatever, but whether you're in that camp or you're in the camp where you want Tottenham to stay up, adding a Zerbi type manager that requires it requires a long time to adjust his style because it's front-footed. He likes to play out from the back, and we have seen Tottenham struggle to play out from the back. You've got players like Vicario that is struggling to pass forward. You've got a player like Romero. I'm just giving instance that struggle to make the right decisions. Very rash. The Zerbi's football is very chaotic. It's not mainly a relegation type of manager per se, and a lot of reports I've been reading. I've done a massive in-depth review. Sorry,
Rowley, what do you think, man? Rowley, what do you think, man?
Listen, that's if he's got the right players, man. And I just think getting Zerbi in and taking the onus off for ENIC, you know what I mean? It's just like a bloody smoke screen. We're still going round on that bloody ENIC roundabout. It's a merry-go-round. Do you not agree?
I agree with that. No, 100%. But you know what? For me, this is how I see it. I want Tottenham to stay up generally, and I think all fans that are Tottenham fans want us to stay up. You know, so for me, if I was in a role where I can appoint a manager, I'm appointing a manager that has one dealt with relegation for me. You know, two. That's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying De Zerbi's not a good manager. He's come at Tottenham in the wrong time. For example, if we appointed De Zerbi when Frank was at Tottenham, I would have a different argument to what I'm talking about right now. But because we've appointed De Zerbi at a crucial moment, and not only that, you're gambling with us going down.
We've got De Zerbi type players. We haven't got De Zerbi type players.
What I agree.
If De Zerbi came to us, with the recruitment team of Brighton, I'll be happy. I'll be bloody happy. You know what I mean? Because they make so much money out of them players. What they Brighton recruitment done.
And just to add on to your argument, De Zerbi couldn't work with, because in reports I've done a massive research. In reports, De Zerbi blew up on the Brighton model, and we are saying that the Brighton model is a great model. How do you think De Zerbi is going to work with our ownership? He's not going to get the players that he would want. That's one factor, because we had better managers. In terms of CVs, we had Conte, we had Mourinho. In my opinion, they are better on CV than De Zerbi.
Yeah, but there's one thing with that. We've had Conte, and we've had the good players. We've had Keynes, we had Son. We've got no one now. We've got no one. See, what's happening now? There's nowhere to hide. There's nowhere to hide for Enoch, right? They either got to go and get the good players in, right? That's going to dig them out this hole they're in, or that's it. They've got to go. It's as simple as that. Now, I think they're going to go big. I do think they're going to have to. If they want this team to survive, they can't go through these two relegation escapes season after season. It's as simple as that. They have to go big. If not, they've got to walk.
Rowley, are you for this appointment then of De Zerbi, or was there someone else that you wanted?
No, it's not that. I just want Enoch gone.
Yeah. We all want Enoch gone, don't we? We all want. But thinking about we're in the here and now.
We have to do the here and now. Yeah, this is what we've got. This is exactly what we've got. We've got De Zerbi. Now, De Zerbi has to have his own type of players. He hasn't got that. So and he said he's going to stay whether we go up or down now, isn't he?
Yeah. I think that's a positive. You know what? In fact, that was my only concern about the Zerbi appointment. If we splash £12 million, the fees are crazy. And then we go into the championship and he's not with us in the championship. That was my major concern. But because he said he's willing to stay, it's kind of like gone from this level to this level. Now I'm like, okay, cool. At least now I know the future direction is De Zerbi. For long, we haven't actually been told what the future is. We've been jumping in managers up and down, but there's no clear future. With De Zerbi, I think there could potentially be a clear future. That's just me just analysing it based on in the next 5 to 5 years, if you get where I'm coming from.
I mean, I'm stored Enoch out. Simple as that.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all do.
You know, I've just had enough. One of them, you know. That's it.
So all the noise, guys, we'll come to Mark at the bottom in a minute because he ain't spoken yet. Let's start off with you, Mark. All the noise from everyone about the negativity around this appointment, even parts of our own fan base were against the appointment. Obviously, the older Mason Greenwood stuff, the stuff that De Zerbi he won't last more than 18 months. He'll be gone. He falls out with everyone. Now, Mark, what do you make of it all, mate?
Oh, Christ, there's a lot to unravel there. I think half the fan base still wants Ange back. I think that's another itch that doesn't get scratched. I think people want Poch back. I'm just not sure with De Zerbi. I don't think he's not a bad manager. It's just he blows up. And I just think it's the wrong time for Spurs to appoint someone like him. I think when we had Kane, Son, Ericsson, and a lot of other good players, I think that would have been a better time, a manager like that. I just think it's completely the wrong time for De Zerbi. I can't see him building anything with his club. I think the ENIC will not spend big money. They never have, so I don't think they ever will. I think we should have got in someone like Sherwood, worked with Harry Redknapp to get us out of relegation, hopefully, and we should have gone for Poch. I think Poch would have been the only one that the fans could itch that scratch and could finally lay to bed at Spurs. If not, if De Zerbi goes again, there'll be still people saying, why didn't we get Poch? So that's how I feel. I'm not saying it won't work, De Zerbi. I'm just, history's told us that he does blow up, and this is the club to be where you blow up.
If I was Poch, I'd just say no. I ain't working with ENIC again. Simple as that. If that was me. If I was Poch, I'd say no. You know, I've been burnt once. I ain't been burnt again.
Yeah.
You know.
Look, guys, we know ENIC. You know, the massive problem, biggest problem. Unfortunately, the fan base haven't got the appetite to challenge the board, so we're stuck with them. And it's about, you know, what can we do as fans, right? We love the club, we'll support the team. We've got to focus on this next 7 games. You know, I'm trying not to think too far ahead. You know, I'm trying not to think about the summer. At this stage, I think we're still going down until we win a game of football. And there's no guarantee.
The plus we've got Kudus coming back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the advantage. Definitely, Rody.
I mean, one important factor. Sorry, just to add to what you're saying about Kudos. One important factor: De Zerbi really wanted Kudos at Brighton. It's In fact, I might even send you guys my deep script that I done a video on, you know, and I have so much levels of why he wanted Kudos, you know. So that's a positive. So in a way, you know, sorry, say that again.
Is Vic gonna be in goal, or are we gonna have to?
See, that's the problem.
We have no
that's
idea.
the problem.
I do like Austin.
You know, that's a major problem if he's in goal, you know, because De Zerbi's style is about playing from the back, and you need to be good on your feet. And Vicario is not that goalkeeper. In fact, I can equally argue, and hear me out when I say this, Kinksky might be a better off option just based on him playing out with his feet. But Vicario's definitely not. Vicario's definitely not.
Was it Liverpool? And he didn't put a foot wrong, man.
Yeah, maybe Austin. Yeah, maybe Austin. Who knows, man? But we have a serious problem with that goalkeeping position. And I think we should have addressed that. I was doing shows around January time. I was like, look, we need a goalkeeper. The defenders don't trust the goalkeeper. So how can they play with confidence? You know, the goalkeeping position. Anyway. Yeah, the goalkeeping position is the most important position. One thing that they have advantage of is seeing the pitch from how it is. You know, they have the advantage because all the rest of the players have to look back. If you're talking about a defender, they still have to look back. You know, a midfielder, they have to look back. Vicario is in a vital position and he's just so poor. He's so poor.
But TJ,
the first year he was... Yeah, go for it. Sorry.
TJ, De Zerbi can't come in and change things straight away. He ain't got the players, right? It's just about surviving the next 7 games, isn't it? It's just about getting results, finding the best way, keeping to the same team, same formation. You know, just motivation levels, speaking to the team.
4-3-2-1, isn't he?
But that's why. Can I be honest with you?
What works?
That's that. And now I know. What I said before doesn't really matter because now we have De Zerbi. But that's why I didn't actually particularly want De Zerbi right now. I wanted a manager like Sean Dyche, someone that understands relegation. I mentioned that a bit earlier, but
do you think this team can defend though, TJ? Do you think this team can defend?
If you set up to defend and you draw, look again. No, they've proven they don't have the capability. So. We're screwed. We are getting relegated, if that's what you want to say to me.
No, I'm just asking you about Sean Dyche. You thought Sean Dyche was a better option. We've tried the
Yeah, no,
defensive approach this season. Where's it gone?
No, Sean Dyche would have been a better option instead of Igor Tudor. I think we royally fucked up. Sorry, mind my language. I'm so sorry, innit? We royally messed up, yeah, when we went for Igor Tudor. We should have gone for a manager that look, and I'm not saying Sean Dyche would have saved us, but I would have been more convinced with a manager that understood what relegation mattered. Like West Ham. That defeat should never have happened. On a serious note, if you're talking about relegation battles, you have to keep them games close. And for me, there's so many games where we've just been so poor because one, the man.
Right.
Sorry, say that. Go for it. If you want to cut me out, yeah, go for it. Go for it.
The players ain't good enough. They're just not good
They're
enough.
not.
We've got a mediocre players, and the fans are just like, oh yeah, they're okay. You know, we've watched them week in, week out. You know what I mean? You watch West Ham, they got fight. We're going to play Sunderland. They've got men, strong midfielders, strong defence. We ain't got that.
So Rowley, you've got no hope that we're staying up. You don't think it makes a blind bit of difference. De Zerbi's coming in, and you've got nothing. You've got nothing left to think about this team other than that we're going down.
No, honestly, Dan, I actually hope we stay up.
Yeah, of course. It's what you think, isn't it?
Up, I've got blue blood in me. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm staunch Enoch out. I always will be.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think we're on a merry-go-round, and that's, you know, we can't get off it until we go, because they're not going to buy the players we need. We're stuffed, and it just showed you how much they relied on people like Sonny and Kane. Do you know what I mean?
So what would you have done, Rowley, then? Would you not hide De Zerbi? Would you have got someone else in, like a Redknapp, I guess?
Yeah, I probably would have done. Yeah, Redknapp definitely. Sherwood probably.
Why do you think they didn't do that, Rowley? Why have they splashed all this money on De Zerbi?
It's crazy. It's crazy. They keep splashing money on honestly, the amount of money they've spent on managers where they could have put it on bloody players. Yeah. When they scrimp and save, they go, oh no, we can't. That's 5 million too much to buy that player or give that player X amount of wages. But they spend all this money on managers that only last 18 months if you're lucky. It's crazy.
So why though, Rowley? So what have they done? Why have they hired De Zerbi, in your opinion? Why is that?
Well, he has played in the Premiership, hasn't he? He has played his players in the Premiership. He does know the Premiership a bit. But
do you like his football?
I ain't got a clue.
Do you like his football?
When he's got the right players, yeah, he was brilliant, wasn't he, with Brighton?
Yeah.
I mean, his football is don't give the opposing team time on the ball. He was straight on them, wasn't he? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is there anybody in that team, Rowley, or we can go to Mark or TJ? Mark first, I reckon. Is there anybody in this team that can play anything that De Zerbi wants to do, Mark?
I think we just got to worry about the here and now. I think we should go back to the double pivot of Paolini and Bentancur, even though Bentancur, it'll be Gallagher. Yeah. I see that the only way. I think we try and get 1-0 up and keep the lead. We're not going to score multiple goals in this team. There isn't goals in this team. So we have to play double pivot for me of Paolini and Gallagher and Simmons in the 10. Sorry, Graber, Brossard, drop to the bench, but I think we've got to go back to that style.
Okay, so you basically none. You don't think we've got any players, Mark?
I think Gallagher in the 8 and number 10 should be Big Sammy. Big Sammy.
Can I have my take on this segment? As you know, De Zerbi plays a front-footed football. You know, he likes to build pressure and invite pressure, and basically in all aspects, it's brave football. You know, but in all of this, you're causing errors which in a relegation battle is not good if he does decide to adapt his foot. But he did say on his interview, so this segment of what I'm saying basically nullifies, because he did say he's not going to play his style. I don't know if you guys watched his interview. He did mention that. So to all fair on him, I'm not expecting anything like what Brighton, because we simply don't have the players. And going back down to what you guys were saying, is there any players that are going to thrive under him? I know of maybe 3 players. Basuma, Basuma, the reason why you're going to think, because of he likes to receive the ball in short spaces, which is so good for the Zerbi's football, and also Basuma came from where? The Brighton setup. So on top of that, he's going to already understand the type of styles that the Zerbi's going to want. Xavi Simons playing into space. But can I be honest with you? Apart from them 2 players, and you know what? And obviously kudos, because he likes them intricate players. I'm going to say, as Mark said, Polina. The problem with Polina is he is not going to be, I don't think he's going to be the player that the Zerbi wants. If you're trying to say the style, if we're saying take Brighton style and put it with Tottenham, Polina's not the person, because he struggles with the passing aspect of things, So again, if we are going based on the Zerbi style, there's only about 3 players. So we don't have your current setup to play his style.
Can Romero pass the ball, TJ? Can Van der Ven pass the ball? Can
Romero
pass the ball? Can they pass the football? Can they, in a possession-based team, we saw it under Ange, they can keep possession, they can pass the ball out from the back.
The only problem with Romero, is the Zerbi wouldn't want a rash type of player. You need to be composed. You need to hold your line. He might be able to pass the ball, which I will give you. That is a good aspect. Maybe he might be able to develop in a De Zerbi's player. I'm not saying De Zerbi style is too off of what Romero could potentially do. But in terms of just like the aspects of what De Zerbi wants to do from the back, if he needs composure, calmness. And out of all of our centre-backs, Romero has the best in passing aspects, yeah? But Van der Ven, we haven't mentioned Van der Ven. Van der Ven is good at recovery. Sorry?
I think he should be on the left.
On the left. Yeah, I believe so. I believe that take as well.
But can he pass the ball, Van der Ven? Scott in the chat reckons he can't pass the ball.
I don't know.
Van der Ven pass the ball? Of course he can.
He passes side to side, doesn't he?
But not what De Zerbi wants. No. De Zerbi wants through the press. We need to establish. This is what I'm saying. You need to establish this type of style. Van der Ven passing through the press is a problem. Dansel doesn't even do it. Grusin doesn't even do it. The only defender that we have in our setup is Romero, but he comes with caveats of he's too rash, and you need to be. If you've watched Marseille, if you watch Brighton, you will see they start from the back. The build-up plays great. But then again, who knows?
Are we thinking too far ahead, though, TJ? Are we thinking too far ahead now? Let's just rein it back a bit, yeah? Because we're looking about this future style. I want to try and keep it in the here and now, the next 7 games, and the reasoning.
Okay, next 7 games.
Why we signed De Zerbi? Why are we signed De Zerbi? Why there's such an outrage from the pundits, from the press, that why Spurs gone this way? Why didn't they go for a Sean Dyche? Why didn't they go for an ex-Tottenham man? Like, what I'm trying to get through in this part of the show is, why is such outrage, controversy? Have they got a point? Or ENIC actually, and I know none of us like ENIC, are they showing ambition with appointing De Zerbi on a 5-year contract? Anyone?
I think he can do whatever they want. I think their arrogance is,
what they want, whether we like it or not.
Yeah, so they were just going to do that regardless. They know nothing about football. They've shown over the years they've known sod all about football. And for me, this appointment, again, I'm not saying he's a bad manager. It doesn't fit the team at all. If you've got 3 players who can only play style at the moment, why have you signed Zerbi for? It doesn't make any sense at all. It just doesn't. So I think, as I said, Ealing just do what they want. They believe they know football, which for me, they know sod all about. So that's my feelings on it.
Yeah, you think it's all going to go wrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
The proof is in the pudding.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sorry, Mark. What if we do get some wins? It's a big if, right? Because we ain't seen it since December. What if this team suddenly starts getting wins? What's that down to, Mark?
If we suddenly start getting wins, could be a lot of things. Could be confidence. Could be playing people in the right positions. It could be a number of things. But as you said, we have to get them wins first. So it'd be interesting to see. Yeah. I mean, if he does get the wins, that means he probably can get a little bit more out of these players than they've shown over the last 2 years in the league, especially. But going forward, my always worry is if we do survive, come the summertime, we know it's a World Cup, and they'll say it's hard to do, business in the summertime with a World Cup, and he'll get 3 or 4 players, probably 1 he wants, 3 he doesn't, and we're back to square one again. He blows his top and he's off again.
Couple of youth players or something.
Yeah.
Well,
Indeed.
In the summer we signed so-called 4 first-team players, didn't we? And I know that half of them haven't worked out.
No. We signed 2 players and 2 people on loan. So we actually only signed 2.
Yeah, I mean, talking about player-wise, the quality of player. Yeah, I know 2 on loan, but there are opportunities to bring in and sign at the club, isn't it? Paulinho, if it was successful, we had an option to sign him permanently. Xavi obviously has been he struggled this season. First time playing in the Premier League. Is that down to the system? Is it down to the tactics? Is it down to working in a dysfunctional team? There's a number of reasons why it hasn't worked out.
Absolutely. But for me, as you guys know, when Lange comes out and said we couldn't get anybody better in our squad than we've already got, and Lookman goes to Atletico Madrid, you know exactly what Enid's all about.
Of course it is.
Look, I know, guys. I know you can't stand Enoch, and I get that. And we could have a whole show. We could just rinse Enoch. Yeah, we can. It's very easy to do. We can just say there's no hope. Enoch out. But let's try and look at what could happen and our thoughts around
in the next 7 games.
I know it's so very easy to get on the Enoch bandwagon. Think everything's negative. Of course.
Dan,
sorry, I've got a question for Dan or everybody in the panel. Does Zerbi have a history with working with youngsters and improving them? Is that why the board got him in?
He has got that. Yeah, Mark, you're right. He does improve players. Yeah.
But then on the other hand, he has a history of discarding players. Certain players don't like his style and play to his style, and he has fallen out with quite a lot of players. So we can look at it from one side of the coin, but we can flip it and we can actually argue against it.
TJ, who is he falling out with?
Okay, cool. Let me get my keynotes up. So man, you don't understand. I came prepared for
a few names off the top of your head.
Tottenham's academy youth players have been forgotten about, haven't they? Really, they're not being pushed through. They've been put out on loan and then they're bunged out on loan again. They're not given a chance.
Okay, so the first player that he fell out with was Leandro Trossard. Everybody forgets that the reason why he went to Arsenal was because of the falling out of with De Zerbi. He dropped him from the squad training because of attitude issues. And obviously, we saw him go to Arsenal. Now, this is one of the clearest examples that were posted around the time when Trossard went over. Another issue that a lot of Brighton fans brought up, because I done massive research. I had to, you know what? If we're gonna gamble our whole future on this one manager, and this is how I see it, that contract is insane. I need to know if this guy's going to be good for us for 5 years. You know,
But TJ, managers,
Well,
they decide they don't like players,
got
right?
him a
And
go,
they
ain't
move
you?
them on.
say that
TJ.
again.
That's just normal for a manager to say, look at a player and say, I
You
don't
can
like you, I'm going to move you on. That
you can
happens at
say
every
that.
club. Why is it so
Yeah, no,
different
of
with
course.
him? Has he got a
No,
massive
no.
history of falling out with players? I don't
You
think
can
so.
you can say that, but the Trossard situation was criticised by Brighton fans.
Okay.
Everybody, when it happened, don't just take my word.
No, I believe
Don't
you,
just take
man.
my word.
I
Do
do
your
believe
research
you.
as well. Yeah,
Yeah, I do
no,
believe you.
But what I'm trying to say, and I want the chat to also do their research, so you have a clear
Okay.
understanding. Don't
What's
just
the point, though,
jump with the
TJ? What's your
bandwagon where
point?
you're saying De Zerbi's good or De Zerbi's bad. Actually, do your research and make your own assumptions based on
TJ,
what you find.
TJ,
You know, go for it.
when Mason Greenwood went to Marseille, he must have been at rock bottom. I mean, rock bottom, the way he was feeling. No one wanted him. Yeah, he put
Of
an arm
course,
around him, and he's made him absolutely bloody brilliant. If you look at his goals and
it's
and
true.
assists this season, you look what he's done to him. I mean,
Yeah, true.
I'm not that happy, you know, even if he brings Mason Greenwood in, but he is a player. He is a quality player.
Now,
And he's got
also
an arm around him.
another
TJ,
player I can
let Rowley
mention.
finish. Rowley,
Oh,
everybody's
sorry.
interrupting each other in this show.
Oh, sorry.
Can we just
My bad.
please wait until everyone finishes talking
Yeah.
and then we can
I
talk? Because
mean,
otherwise, I can't keep up with it. Rowley,
have
have
you
you
seen
finished?
have you seen the goals and assists of Mason Greenwood at Marseille?
Yeah,
Is this coming back
he's
to
done
me?
well. Yeah, yeah,
I think it's 24
yeah. He's doing well.
competitions.
He does improve players,
And
Zerbi.
He
that boy
does.
has gone through so much, right? And De Zerbi's put his arm around him and said, you know, I know the player you are. I know what you can do. Go and show me. And he's shown him. And that's the sort of that's what I want to see in a manager.
So Rowley at Tottenham right now and this team, and you've watched them all season. What players is he going to do that for to get more out of them on the pitch?
This is it. This is what have we seen from these players? What have we seen in the past of these players? These players have, you know, that as soon as they go one goal down, their heads drop. You know, they lose it.
So there's no one. There's no one you think he can get an arm round, get that playing, get some.
They're not quality players, are they? They're not world-class players. I mean, they're not superstars, are they?
No, but neither was Mason
They're
Greenwood.
mediocre players. They're mediocre players, and that's what I'm not going to go and say it because you know what I'm going to say. But this is where the club is now. This is where the club is.
So there's no one, basically, Rowley. No one he can improve.
We ain't got a superstar, have we? We've got no game changers. We've got no one to get a bum off the seat. And, you know, when they go run out the wing like we had a Lennon. Do you remember Lennon? If he got the ball, when he ran up the wing, your ass was off the seat, wasn't it? You know, we've got no one like that.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Why would he take this job, Rowley? Why would De Zerbi take this job? Is it just for money? Or do you think thinks he can get something out of this team?
I reckon it's broken promises, mate. Broken promises from the world. You wait and see. He'll say, I want this player, I want that player, and he won't get it.
Mate, yeah, it could happen. Yeah, I get that. But he's talked in this interview. Have we listened to him in this interview? He's talked about taking on the Spurs job. You know, we've got good players. He thinks, you know, he can get the team up the league. You know, we won the Europa League last season. We have got international players. We have got players with ability. I know especially on this panel, I'm not so much about TJ, but Mark and Rowley, who don't rate the squad at all. But come on, yeah. That he must thinking if he's going to take this job on, big job, he doesn't want to foul. Yeah, he must see something in that team to have any belief that he can get something working with this lot. Otherwise, he's taking that job, isn't it? What a risk for him in his own career, in his own. Do you know what I mean? This could kill him.
He's still going to get a payday, isn't he? He's still going to get a payday.
It's a career, isn't it? He don't want to foul. He don't want to foul at the club, does he? He wants to be a success.
Look at Mourinho. He's been there, done it, got the T-shirt. If he fouls, it don't matter, does it? He just go on to the next one. Same as De Zerbi, same as all of them. You know, as long as they get the pay at the end of the day and they paid the contract off, they don't care.
Fair enough. Anyone else?
A lot
Javi
of,
Simon,
for me
maybe.
personally, a lot of it's ego. If you come to Spurs as a manager, turn this shit show around, the world's your oyster. To be honest, you know, your next job could be Real Madrid, Liverpool, blah blah blah. Pardon?
Yeah, but then you know, everyone's Spurs fan. I think he's some kind of god because the way they've been playing, you know, under all these managers, it's been terrible. It's just been been dropped. I fell asleep a couple of times, you know.
Yeah, I'm just talking about from the reason why he could have took the job, apart from money, would be ego. A lot of the big managers have ego. So I would have said his ego, because Spurs are a decent sized club, decent facilities, world class stadium.
This cockerel will wake up. I'm telling you, it's been asleep far too long.
Guys, let's welcome in Mr. Box Office.
Oh, here we go.
Alex is here.
Hello, Alex.
What's going on? What's going on, Mr. Box Office? Back in the building, like I say. Just quickly. I don't know what's going on my phone. Sorry, I apologise. Technology is failing me like they always do. It always does. I just need to just come in, just quickly chime in a little bit quickly. I'm just a bit like I love Spurs fans because I've got revisionism. I love it because I'm just trying to remind myself. Was it the same? Is it the same team that have not won in 13 games? Is it the same team that is the worst team in Europe the last 2 years? Is it the same team that has 0.68 points per game since January? And ever since Zerbi's come in, who's only coming in for money and control because we were so desperate and he's left us under our barrel, right? That's the only reason why he's here. Now, yes, he could get us out of relegation form, but I still stick by what I say every single time, right? And if you look at the record with Zerbi when he comes in mid-season, I'm not talking about Marseille, I'm talking about Brighton, I'm talking about another team as well. I can't remember the team.
Shakhtar.
He didn't win in sixth. He didn't win in sixth.
Yep, it's true.
So
and he starts off slow.
Again, I just need to remind people: facts don't do feelings. You know what I mean? Because I'm just done with it. And yeah, he could get us out of relegation, and I'll give him some credit. All right, I'll give him some credit. But I'm sorry, the Tottenham fans again. I love them because they do it again. And you know what? I don't even get angry because it's Easter. So, like, you know what I mean? I ain't got time for it. You know what I mean? They got the time for it, you know? So, for me, I don't get this whole thing about, oh, let's just cheer on the team. Sorry, they've got to prove themselves. They've got to improve that stat of points per game first.
It's all smoke screens.
You know what I mean? It's like, and then they're saying, oh, we'll enjoy the training. We'll enjoy the training in Conte. They enjoy the training with bloody Ange Postecoglou. I've heard this before. It's boring.
Look, we know this fan base, mate. We know any sort of positivity, they're going to jump on it. We know this. This has always been the case, man. Nothing's ever going to change. This training video stuff, I mean, nothing doesn't prove nothing until we see what it looks like on the pitch. It's just, what we're doing here, really? Why are people getting so hyped? But that's just fans. Fans look for any type of positivity in what's been an absolute disgraceful season. So, I don't know.
That's the point I'm making. That is the point I'm making. I just don't get it. Listen, it's everyone's opinion. Listen, I don't. But I'm sorry until I see it. And like I said, I ain't gonna be doing, celebrations because we got out of relegation. We should be in this position in the first place.
Exactly.
And I don't rate these players. I'm sorry. No one's telling me. And he has addressed the fact that he's not going to play his way. And I appreciate that he said that because he's never going to get anything out of these players and do his philosophy in 7 games. He can't do that.
That's what I said.
He can't do that.
He copied my
He's
words.
never done that. That's the problem I have with it. He's never done this.
Alex,
okay.
call
Rather
it
than
out,
me
mate.
waffling, you go.
Call it
Go
out.
on.
Call it out, mate. Is he going to keep us up? Let's get to the
No.
crux of this.
No, I'm being straight up with you. No, I don't. Like I said before, I predicted on my channel, Mr. Box Office TV, latest video, rinsing someone to pieces, right, doing a diss track, if you want to know. The point is, though, right, because that's how we're doing it now on Mr. Box Office TV now. Following my boy Elijah and too much of E. But anyway, back to the point, right? We ain't doing it. I said on Mr. Box Office TV, we ain't getting a win out of those 7 games. We'll give Chelsea a game now. We've got Zerbi, and we'll give Aston Villa a game. Yeah, we might get a chance to get a draw. I don't see wins. Not with this defence and not with this bang average midfield we've got. Yeah, can you tell me Archie Gray's going to do something? Please don't insult me, that Harry Weeks impersonator. Don't get me started with him. Don't get me started with him. Yeah, right. And Sarr, who's just an athlete. How many athletes have we got in our team? No footballers in our team.
So what, Alex? Why have they hired Zerbi, in your opinion?
They're desperate, mate. It's quite easy. It's desperate. It's desperate.
To keep the fans off Phoenix back. That's what it is.
It's desperate. There's nothing else to say but desperate. There's nothing else. It's clear for what I see. I'm sorry. I'm not even saying they're clever. And also, they don't trust Johan Lang and Vinay. So they're saying, you're the football guy now. You run it. Which I don't think is right. I don't think you should give a manager that much power. Especially when he hasn't got credibility. The credibility is not even there yet. He's not a Mourinho. He's not a Conte. He's not even a bloody... He's not a Pep Guardiola. Even Pep Guardiola didn't even that much control. He's got Tiki... He had that Tiki guy that left. That was his main guy. You know what I mean? We've got bloody Johan Lang doing everything. What we're doing here? And I think it'll be sacked anyway.
So do you want it all to burn down, Alex?
But I don't really... I love this club. But I don't care. I don't care about what's going on right now.
Want relegation, mate?
But I couldn't care less if we get relegated, bro. We deserve to get relegated. The stats are telling us we get relegated, bro. So I've accepted it.
Yeah.
I've accepted it. Stats are telling me, bro. But I've been seeing... My eyes have not been lying to me for the last how many years. And like I said, the stats are telling us that we deserve to get relegated. So it's not me wanting it, but they've been wanting it because they didn't do nothing in January. Yeah? They didn't sack Frank when they needed to sack Frank earlier. So they put in them on themselves. So don't have a look at me. Don't have a go at me because I'm saying the truth, right? Because if you want to have a go at me, right, pay me to do the job that they're doing then, right? I'll do a better job than them every single day. You know what I mean? You know? Because you can have a go at me all you want, but I had no control over them losing the ball.
Alex,
over them.
Are you saying if we had sacked Frank earlier, say before Christmas, and hired Zerbi then, we would have had a better chance?
Probably, yeah. But it's still the same players. We might have got some players in January. Got a left winger. Got an actual footballer that can actually pass a ball.
Yeah.
Rather than relying on bloody Bergvall. I'm told by Spurs fan, we played badly because we got kudos. No disrespect, kudos. I like kudos. I do like kudos. But that's not just because of kudos. If you want to start looking at stats, let's look at stats when Harry Kane wasn't in the team. When Harry Kane left. Let's look at that.
Fair enough.
And Gareth Shaw as well, who are both accidents, by the way.
Look, it's hard to be positive, man. This season's a disaster. But we have to talk about it, man. Big change, isn't it? Hiring Zerbi. We've got to talk about it. That's why we're here. We're all on the show, trying to get our heads around it all. Talking about, what do you think, Alex, about the kind of the banter we get, and anybody else on the panel can talk about this as well. The banter that we've got this season, that everybody, they want us to go down, mate. Don't believe that some of them say, "Oh, I'll miss the London derbies, I'll miss the big games Spurs play." They don't care.
We're a media's dream, mate. We are a media's dream. All the media, all the newspapers, they want us to go down. You know what I mean? With a club like this, with a big shiny stadium. It's an absolute.
Isn't there part of you that doesn't want to go down because of that shit that we get from everyone and everyone else in the league? Isn't there part of you like to think, look, they fucked up this season, Enoch, but they fired Zerbi. I know we don't know what's going to happen, but isn't there part of you thinking that if he does get some wins and keeps us up, it's kind of like 2 fingers back? No?
Well, I hope so. I hope he keeps us up, but I can't see it. I just can't see us staying up. I just can't. Not with the strikers we got. The strikers are absolute crap.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. We haven't performed all season. I know. I'm not defending anyone. I'm not defending anyone, but I'm trying to create conversation. This is why we do YouTube, right? We've got to look at it.
Looking at it, I'm trying to think of a left winger we can put on the left wing at the minute because we ain't got one. We've got a right winger. Thank God, Kudus is back. We've got Xavi and what's his name as a number 8, but we've got no one on that side. Again, we're going to have to play Bergvall on the left or something because he's fit, isn't he?
Bergvall on the left.
Well, who else would you put on there?
There's not a lot of options, is there? Tell, that's it. Tell Mawani. I don't know what he's going to do with them. No one knows what he's going to do. This manager, we ain't got a clue yet. We don't know how he's going to set them up.
I don't think Mawani's a great left-hand side player. I really don't. He's all right behind a decent striker, but we ain't got a decent striker.
Look, anyone else want to say anything about how you're feeling as a fan? Like, I can't stand it, all the banter that we get, man. It's annoying. We've just been...
And we deserve it. In my opinion, we deserve it. We
don't deserve it.
Us as fans deserve it.
We don't deserve it. Us fans don't deserve it.
No, you know why? Can I tell you why us as fans deserve it? Because we didn't have the balls to go to protest, to protest against Enoch. We didn't have the balls to make a change. Us fans deserve it. I went to a protest by myself. Me and Haz were streaming a protest, a very recent protest, and it was only me and Haz. When you don't want to inflict change, you have to accept the reality. You can't have both worlds. So we're either happy with what we're getting or we're not. In my opinion, we should be blamed as fans for not doing more.
Who's blaming
what
fans?
What fans? The fans that go to the game should be blamed because there's 60,000 of them.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Who's blaming who here?
Fans, just fans in general that don't go to protest and don't speak up about this and think it's all right. I do interviews every single home game. I do interviews every single home game. And there's a lot of fans that are not willing to protest. There's a lot of fans that are not willing to speak out. There's a lot of fans that believe that this is this. So we are only to blame. We as fans, we are to blame because we've allowed our club to go to this level. If the fans don't speak up, this is how it goes. Simply, if the fans don't speak up, you accept.
It's like a jellyfish. You've got no backbone, mate. If you're not going to speak up, then the club's going to go to ruin. They're going to do what they want. They're going to walk all over you.
Tell me about it. See, this is what happened.
Guys, let's go to the chat. Let's read out some comments in the chat. Big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to Scott. Big up to Jimmy. Big up to One Spurs Kings. Big up to Ghosted. Big up to Daryl Denton. Big up to Carl, That Spurs Podcast. Big up. I hope I've said everyone's name. Rodney, I've already said hello to. Big up to you all. Look, Scott says he will keep us up if West Ham, Leeds or Forest are shit. If they collect the points. Gone.
Your camera just went up, by the way. Off, by the way.
Can you hear me
still?
still?
Can still hear you, Dan.
Yeah, we can still hear you. Yeah, perfectly.
Let me sort it out. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. I don't know. What was I saying?
You were talking. You were just reading a comment. You were just literally reading a comment.
I was reading a comment. All right. Look, no one knows what's going to happen, right? Based on evidence so far, we're going down. There's no guarantees Zerbi's going to keep us up. But we will see, right? We will see. And let's just want to go to the chat and just bring up some comments. Kyle says, hold on, no manager wants to fail at the club as their reputation takes a hit. Fair enough, yeah. I think no one wants to fail. Let's have a look. One Spurs King says, does everyone take a job for money? Of course they do. Of course they do. And Darryl says, stage one, hope is a dangerous thing, can drive a man insane. Red, Shawshank Redemption. Big up, man. Scott says, Mr. Box Sauce is on fire. Cheers, Alex, man. I think you just left. I think you're gone. Cracked on with your day, man. Thanks for jumping on. Joe, blogs, evening to you, mate, or afternoon, sorry. The availability of those free fit forwards is essential for our success this season. So he's talking about Mawani, Solanke, and Richarlison. Who's he going to play, guys? Who's he going to start off with against Sunderland? Which one would you go for out of those three?
I don't know, mate. I tell you.
There's a bunch of poor players.
Yeah.
Bunch of poor players.
Solanke, maybe. Solanke.
Richarlison spends most of his time on the floor, don't he? Every time he gets a little walk, he goes on the floor.
To be fair, Solanke, with the research I've done, Solanke presses high. So maybe that could be his starting striker. But it's a bunch of bad players.
I'd go with Solanke. Definitely.
I'll probably go for Richarlison, man, because at least he shows some fight. Solanke's been awful since he's come back, hasn't he?
He has.
Injury?
Yeah, no, he has. That's a fact.
Match fit, is he, Dan? He can't be match fit.
No, there's something right, Rolly. I think you're right, man. He's not been himself, has he?
But these 3
He's
weeks,
not amazing anyway.
But we can assume these 3 weeks would better his fitness, right? I'm not a physio, so I wouldn't know the extent.
He played for England, didn't he? One of the games. Don't know how.
Yeah. So I assume the 3 week. Oh yeah, not to be fair, I don't know. I don't know who's going to go for. I think you might be right, Richarlison, but then Solanke is an option as well. So who knows?
Look, let's talk about this appointment with Zerbi, right? Because obviously a lot of fans are happy, including me, that we're signing a manager that is going to speak up against the board. That's all we want, right? Try and hold them to account. Alex?
It doesn't matter what we think, it's what the board think.
Yeah, but we'd rather have someone I've challenged the board and say, look, I want this. Yeah, I would. I'm not saying he's going to solve everything they're going to deliver, but surely as fans, we want a manager who's going to speak up. No?
I can't see him being a yes man, like you're saying, Dan.
Yeah, he's definitely not a yes man. He's worse than Conte.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's worse than Conte.
I just think he's going to blow up.
Yeah, everywhere he's gone, he's kind of like blown up. Yeah. But then again, what has that actually proven? If you look at the just in terms of our loss, like if we're going to compare him to Conte, forget styles and all of this, right? Has that actually achieved anything? It's told us the same thing over and over and over and again.
Evidence, isn't it?
ENIC, but how much more evidence do we have to have
until
we make a change? Yeah, how much more evidence do we have to have until we actually deal with the main problem?
We've had the best managers in the world, bar none, and they still didn't get a tune out. They didn't have the players. Simple as that. They didn't have the players.
Dan, I got a question for you. So you're in.
What I'm trying to say, I know, like you're not happy with the manager, or you're not sure, or whatever. Surely you want that type of manager, right? Who's gonna, demand players to play a system. Surely we all been quite, so many people were praising Conte when he left and he told the truth and everything like that, and that Mourinho
we all want the manager bounce, don't we?
Huh?
We all want the manager bounce, but at the end of what we want is our players to go out there, fight for our club, show the respect and love for our badge, right? Yeah. Go out there and show something on that pitch. That's all we want. We want something. Just give them a go. That's all we want, Dan. But
yeah.
'What we've seen lately, I just can't see it, mate. I can't see it. 'Cause I think we've got the manager bounce, haven't we?
Yeah, but
I think we've got the manager bounce. But the end of, we all want the manager bounce, but the end of, we want something. Just give them a go. That's all we want, Dan. But what we've seen lately, I just can't see it.
No, of course not. Alex, what's your take on having Zerbi as a man who could challenge the board?
Listen, I think from what I'm seeing, he's a good coach. I don't really know him too well, but from what I saw from Brighton, he coaches people, and I hear the praise for him from other players and coaches. I hear it. I think he's maybe the right coach at the wrong time. I have to be honest. So I still stick by what I say. What Mason and Glenn Hoddle till the end of the season as interims, and then we could go and reset completely. That was my take. And what I mean by retake is like from top to bottom, basically. Even if we were in relegation, you know, we make that decision on that. Really, for me. Yeah, and I think he's still, like I said, I don't really care about them. I'm not really that guy that kinds of connects with the manager anyway, very, very early on anyway. I've not really cared since Poch, so, which is what I've said so many times now. So it's not really a case of that, you know, I've got any issue with him, and it's just a stance I have. I'm not that bothered. I'm more fussed about you know, how he convinces us and convinces us how he's going to be able to handle us in the next how many months or years. We've got 5 years with him, and whether that's going to happen, I don't know. But as you're seeing at the moment, everyone's really positive. Certain people are positive, certain people are not positive. This is just a natural thing that you see for a first when a manager comes in. But personally, I'll go back to my first answer. I don't think he's a bad coach. It's just at the moment, I think he needs to prove himself. How long that's going to be, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to be.
No one's got a crystal ball, have they?
No. That's my thing. It's nothing against the man. It's just at the moment I'm not that. I just think I'm just immune to whether we get a new manager in or not, because I don't get connected to a manager anymore. I just don't. I think it's more bigger than that. I think it is more bigger than that. So,
quick question, Alex. Mr. Boxer, sorry. Quick question. Just to ask you, do you think the fans will give the Zerbi time in terms of let's just say we do go down, will Tottenham fans give him time, or? Yeah, I just want to know your opinion about that.
Depends on whether you liked him when you first liked him. If you didn't like him, you're not going to give him time. You're going to first thing that you see bad. First thing you see bad, you're going to turn off. You know what I mean? There's certain people that just want to just keep a manager for years and years and years. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I know they're going to say Pep Guardiola. I know they're going to say Jurgen Klopp, but look
how he's been backed, Alex. Come on, man.
But look at the people behind these people. You know what I mean? If something went wrong, they still got their man behind them. You get what I'm saying? And that's the driving force. You know what I mean? People say about Alex Ferguson, he's like Alex Ferguson back in the days.
Different eras,
Alex Ferguson had Peter Kenyon behind him. He also had somebody else behind him as well. I forgot his name now. That had the knighthood. I can't remember his name now. And they were pulling the strings as well behind him. You see what I'm saying? And you also had coaches as well. You know what I mean? Coming in. You know, Arsene Wenger had David Dean behind him. You know, so I mean, I think that's where the context goes missing with certain Tottenham fans. You get what I'm saying?
It's the wrong way round, Alex, isn't it? Basically, what you're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why, because I think it's more important to have a director of football and a chief executive. That's the main thing for me, right? I don't think it really matters when you have loads of coaches, because if you have an actual structure like Brighton, Brentford, and I know Brighton have always had that structure, but that's the point. They've always had that structure where they had football people running the asylum. Brentford, Bournemouth now. You get what I'm saying? You know?
Yeah.
When you have football people behind the scenes, leaders, and this is why I drag back to, and people lose the context when I say this, because I didn't like Prodigy. I hated Prodigy. I wanted him out a long time ago. I was arguing with loads of people that this guy is suspect. But the research I've done on this guy, right, and seeing what he's like, you know, what he did at Tottenham, compared to what we're doing now. He's heavens above these people. Heavens above. Not saying he wanted to stay, because I don't think he got Tottenham identity. I don't think he got it. But he knew the role. He knew the role. It's like Daniel Levy. Daniel Levy's at fault for this as well.
We've been making so much mistakes.
But Daniel Levy made a lot of mistakes, and 100% he's culpable. 110%. I am not saying I didn't want him out, but I'm saying he needed out, by the way. But if he's in this situation, he would have not allowed it to go to this way. He would have got a Tottenham guy in straight away. He would have gone to David Pleat. Again, a guy that I criticise a lot of the time. I'll take him over any of these people that are behind the scenes right now. I'll take him anyone. I'll take David Pleat all day, every single day behind these people right now. Right?
Yeah, but the player,
he knew his football. He knew a player as well. He knew how to run a club as well. Like, you know what I mean? And knew Tottenham. That's the key thing. Knew Tottenham. That's the point. Right? So these are the things. That strategy. And Daniel Levy will not allow it to get to this point. They will not allow it. Yes, I know. I know that he suggested Tudor. I know he did, right? Before he left. I know he did. And they jumped on it, right? But he also suggested bloody Zerbi as well.
And I would have rather had the Zerbi. I would have rather had the Zerbi then than Tudor, in my opinion. If you're just going based on one or other.
He wasn't having Frank when he came in either. He wasn't having Frank.
Yeah. I agree.
Let's take it back, guys. We've jumped ahead here because TJ had a question. I don't think you fully answered it, Alex. He said about how do we judge De Zerbi, how long he should be given. Now, it's each individual's opinions on this, right? So let's go around the panel. What does De Zerbi need to show
I did answer it earlier. I did answer earlier, but you weren't in.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, I said it at the beginning. I said at the beginning, and I've just moved it on a little bit more. But because I said that for people, if you missed me, I just said if you're. I was just looking at it for other people. If you are somebody that didn't like De Zerbi, you ain't going to give him that much chance. If the first a bad thing that's gone on, you're going to be him out straight away, isn't it? Yeah. Others will be like saying we need to give it a chance because if you don't, they're kind of fed up of the manager changing. How do
you though, Alex? How do you judge it?
For me at the moment, I think it's just down to.
What do you want to see next? Say we survive, yeah? Say we survive. What do you want to see?
I think the minimum has to be he has to be in the top 10. The minimum he has to be in the top 10. I think that
his first season.
Yeah, for his first season, I think the minimum he has to be in the top 10. For me, like I said, to give you an answer, I think his minimum needs to be in the top 10. I think for me, because I think fighting relegation is not acceptable for Tottenham Hotspur. But in saying that, I think we've just gone down the trajectory. So I'm not expecting a lot really from this Tottenham team. You need to get better players in, don't you? Really. So yeah. But to answer the question, I think for me, he has to be in top 10.
Okay.
At least.
Fair enough. And Rowley, what about you, man?
If we go down, we're going to be in big trouble, mate. I can see it because in that championship, they got men, strong players. And what I've seen in that championship, watching Coventry and people like that, we haven't got that sort of player. De Zerbi, I can't see him lasting. The season. Especially. Next year? No, I can't see it. I think he's just going to blow up, mate. I think he's going to go. He's going to ask the board for something, and they're just going to say, "Nah, sorry, you can have this one. You can have these players." And they go, "Well, it ain't what I asked for," and he's going to do a Conte.
Okay.
He's that sort
of. Foley, I know you're making predictions here, right? But what do you want to see from De Zerbi? He's obviously the manager now, 5-year contract. For you to be happy as a fan, what do you want to see? What sort of progress do you want to see from him? Say if we do stay up, yeah? What is the progress from you? What is it?
Well, I want to see some attacking football, right? I want to see a shape. I want to see one-touch football instead of this pass and going forward and passing forward. The midfielders, instead of going this horseshoe all the time, sideways, so it's like crab football. They just play side to side, side to side. We got a corner the other day, and he passed it to the bloke on the edge of the box, and he passed it back to the halfway line. I mean, what sort of corner is that? Do you know what I mean? We must have had, what, 6 corners in about 20 minutes, and we done nothing with them. Nothing. It was awful. It was absolutely awful. With Zerbi, I'll give him middle of next season, I reckon. that's what I think, anyway.
Guys, before we go to TJ, because TJ asked the question, I'm going to say my bit in a minute. Guys, please go over and subscribe to Alex. Links in the chat there. Go and give him a subscribe if you're not already. Thank you very much. Also subscribe to TJ as well. Links in the chat there. Also, Rowley, you've just started a channel, mate, haven't you? Do you want to tell us anything about it? You know, what's going on?
Well, it's just starting, mate. I've not even launched it yet, to be quite honest. But yeah, I've just sorted my StreamYard out, and I had problems with my mic yesterday. I was going to go on live yesterday, but watch this space, mate. I'll be on soon. I'm going to be on soon.
Yeah, please go and give him a sub. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, let me answer the question. What I want to see under Zerbi, I want to see, you know, look, it's hard to think too far ahead. I know we've got to get through the first 7 games, but as TJ asked the question, I'm going to answer it. For me, it's just, you know, it's kind of we've fallen very far, haven't we? We've fallen very, very far this season. It's really, I don't know, man. Mid-table, possibly next season. Just playing some better football, cutting out the losses, working on some, like, you know, if it's going to be a Zerbi style of play, we've got to sign players that can deliver that, and that means passes in the midfield. We need pace up front. We need defenders who can pass the ball out from the back. You need players who are comfortable receiving the ball under pressure. We don't have them. So let's be honest here. We don't. May have a little bit, but nowhere near enough to play that Zerbi way. So the recruitment is crucial there. So look, it's just step by step, man. I wouldn't have any real expectations on the team next season if we survive. It all depends on the recruitment. It's really, really difficult. I'm just trying to keep focused on what these next 7 games. But for me, for progress, it's basically, you know, you've got to see something working. You've got to see the team working towards something, trying to make some progress. And that's it. For me, it's very low. Expectations we've fallen off so much, man. You know, you have fans saying about qualifying for Europe and winning a cup. No, we're far away at the moment. Zerbi's no miracle worker. It's going to take time. Go on, Alex.
Dan, sorry to interrupt you, and before TJ just chimes in, I think this is why I struggle. I think from what I see from you, and I'm having a go at you, you're struggling with the answer right now, aren't you? Because for me at the moment, I think the main thing I want that for me at the moment for Zerbi, well, I can't really just put on Zerbi. I think it's a club now, because I don't just base it on the manager anymore. To make me care, because I don't care anymore. You know what I mean? I love, like I say, people don't understand why I say I don't care. I think it's just I don't care for what is going on at the moment and what I've been for the last how many years now. It's that my interest is kind of dwindling a lot, you know, because it's more drama rather than actually enjoying what you're watching. You know what I mean? And I think the football's important. The identity is very, very important to me right now. I don't know what Tottenham Hotspur means to me at the moment right now. You know what I mean? I think we need to go back to that. That's why I said I wanted a reset. You know, however that is, and that includes Enoch gone. I know that's not reality. That's it. But I just think I just want the club to make me want to care now. You know what I mean? Because that's where I'm losing it at the moment. You know, I think I'm losing that will to care about the football club now. You know, the way they are at the moment. You know what I mean? And that's why I've accepted this, because I don't feel that from what I watch, I don't feel connected anymore with what I'm watching. Well, I've not really felt it for a long time, but this is the lowest I've felt for a long time with Tottenham right now.
You shouldn't have to feel like that, though, Alex.
No.
You shouldn't have to feel like that, mate.
But it's honestly, I'm just being honest right now. I know people don't understand. Oh, what you just don't watch. Or I've not been watching. I've just been watching from home.
Like,
You know
yeah,
what
I
I
have.
mean? So I've gone to matches, yeah, but it's not because I actually care. It's just going to see people. That's it, really. No?
I'd
And
rather go to a protest and have a drink in the pub.
well, I'm not going to go on about the protest too much because I've been at the protest, so I don't want to say too much on that because then it becomes a bit of an ego for me. But yeah, I've said what I've said on that anyway. But yeah, that's just me personally, and I understand where Dan's, because I feel that I think it's a bit of a struggle to start answering that question right now because I think it's been so long since we actually wanted what we wanted. I want to see nice football. I want to see some players actually develop, actually get better. Not just have one good moment like I see with.
I'd like to see some youth come through. I'd like to see our academy come through. We've got great players in the academy.
A lot of people say
I
that,
agree.
yeah.
I agree. We, so going back to the question that I asked, only reasons being because it's a really big risk if we was to go down. There's a lot of just off the topic of the Zerbi, just quickly, the TV revenue financially, it will be a disaster for Tottenham. Not only that, the contract that the Zerbi is on, disaster. You're talking about players, release clause, it's a disaster. So realistically, what I would love to see for next season is technically, if De Zerbi keeps us up, let's just say, hypothetically, I believe that De Zerbi keeps us up. I want to see us finish next season around 10th. Around 10th. I think that's good progress for a start for De Zerbi, But as you guys know, I believe we are going down. That's my honest opinion, based on all the evidence that I've put in front of me. Nothing tells me that we are going to stay up, So for me, next season, if I'm talking about if we are in the championship, realistically, this is how I see it. The first thing that De Zerbi has to deal with, as it's going to be a financial disaster, he needs to start offloading players. That's a thing where he's going to have to manage. He's going to have to manage a squad where we're losing most of our first teamers. Romero's not going to go down with us. Van der Ven's not going to go down with us. There's many players that are not going to go down to the championship. Let's make it clear. So De Zerbi's that first season, he's going to have to manage a team that is half of what it is right now, and we're saying it's so bad right now. So De Zerbi's going to have to find a way to come out of that championship, the first leg, literally the first year. And I don't even think that's even possible because, like you said, it's men against boys. That's basically how the championship is. It's men against boys, and we don't have men. We have boys. All of our, if you take away our players that we have right now that we consider as our first teamers, that let's just say they're not going to go down. Romero, if you're going to say he's a man, he's not going to be with Tottenham. Vicario, he's not going to be with Tottenham. These players that we're considering as men are not going to be. Pelina's not going to be with Tottenham. We're going to have players like Archie Gay, Bergval, all of these young players. You have to consider what it takes. So that season, if we do end up going down, I'm expecting De Zerbi to manage a squad and build a squad of youth. And it might sound crazy that I'm suggesting this because that's the only options I can see right now. Nothing's telling me that we're staying up. That's the reality. But I hope I'm wrong.
Fair enough, man. Let me just go to the comments. Daryl Denton says, I never judge a manager till after 12 weeks. After that, I want to see things change gradually. Honeymoon periods, I never judge with any new manager. Fair enough. Big up to Kate and Jim. Hope you're good. Enjoying your Easter Sunday. Let's see what else is saying. Guy, big up, Guy. Hope you're all right, man. I'm going to the Chelsea process to see what turnout will be.
Good on you. Typical, isn't it?
You will see me, my friend.
Smash the likes, subscribe. Cheers, Cookie.
Hello, Cookie, mate.
Big up, Cookie. Rodney, Spurs have got the money to spend if they want to spend it. We've always spent money, man, just not spent it well. That's it. We've spent loads of money, just never do it. But let's have a look at the tactical stuff then, right? You know, because like a lot of also what I'm going to say is a lot of people are saying that Zerbi's not the man for a relegation dogfight, right? You know, we need a survival specialist, or we need somebody who knows a club like a Redknapp or Hoddle. How's this going to go down then? Because as I said a little bit earlier in the stream, like us playing defensively under Frank, you know, Tudor was hardly here, didn't really work for this team, did it, of players? We weren't good at just defending generally. Are we best off just going out, all out attacking these next 7 games and just go out fighting like that, rather than just sitting back trying to keep a 1-0, playing it extra safe like a typical relegation team? Or are we best off just trying to attack, score goals? Anybody can go.
Can I? Oh, okay, cool. Mr. Box, you go first. Go. No. I want to hear your take before I say my take.
I just don't know where we're going to go with this, because I just look at those players right now. They couldn't do it. They let in so many goals with Ange when they did this. So, okay, maybe you could play Paulinho. I think you need to use Paulinho in this properly. And to be fair, and even though I've got my issues with him, and I'm up and down with him a lot of the time, but Bentancur, to be fair to him, with him and Paulinho, they were very stable in that centre midfield when Frank had them in midfield, didn't he?
Yep.
But obviously Bentancur's not fit at the moment. Then you've got Gallagher at the moment. So I'm more looking at that midfield at the moment, because for me personally, I would put. I know Danzo's not the best passer in the world, but I rely on him all day long. I like Danzo, and that's strange for someone to say this.
I'm always kind
of Danzo.
Is he going to do that? Though?
It's either Danzo or somebody else. I ain't trusting Romero right now in the relegation.
Is he going to drop Romero, the club captain?
I don't know. I think he'll go with the two, Van der Ven and Romero. And then it's really a toss-up between I mean, again, Adoji's overhyped, but I think Adoji will come in by default because, you know, he's left-footed. And then Poro, again, by default, because I don't think he's all that. I just think he's a shouter and that's it. I just think he's all mouth and no play as far as I'm concerned, especially this season, I've got to be honest. But by default, he's gone there. And then it's really who's creating the goals right now. And I'm not going to just put it on Kudos right now because he's just come back fit. So, I mean, what are you expecting? You know what I mean? And then don't get me started on him. Yes, he works hard, but give him a Blue Peter badge. I can't believe I'm saying this, and I still want him gone. But Richarlison, he's been our best attacker. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing coming out of my mouth. But it's true. It's true. It's true because he's a gate crasher, honestly. But what else can you say? What else can you say? Because my eyes are not lying to me. The guy, whenever he turns up, yes, he'll crap against Nottingham Forest, but you know, he don't hold up the ball. But he's doing more than bloody Solanke's doing. So don't get me started at Mawani. You know what I mean? So, and then Javi Simmons, to be fair to him, again, he ain't no better than, again, people will lose the context why I say this about Kulusevski. They lose the context because I called him a reject from Juventus. I didn't rate him, but I'm sure rate him more than bloody Javi Simmons, what he gives us. You know what I mean? I know he's a long way ahead of getting back fit. And definitely Maddison, 100%. Maddison better than him all day long. But he works hard. He does work hard. He's working on his body. And if you actually gave him the facilities, what he had at RB Leipzig, like I said, Openda making runs and Cisco actually holding up the ball for him, you maybe see a different Javi Simmons. You know what I mean? So we have to rely on him as well because he's our creator as well. So
He's
if
the
he can
only
get the
creator.
best up and play him in the right positions at the moment, we've got a chance. But again,
So Alex, are we should we approach it more attacking or just
yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to say. I think you need to put them in the right positions. You need to put everyone in their right and comfortable positions, and then you just work from that, work with that. That's what I would say you do. You know what I mean? Because I just think at the moment, if you're going to play them in different positions and stuff and play them, you know, like Tudor did, you're not going to get anything out of it. You know what I mean? So, but I think you have to keep it balanced, Dan. You have to keep it balanced because, and you know, more. I think you need to keep it tight as well, but you need to score goals. You need to score goals as well. You know what I mean? Because we need to get wins at the moment. So you've got to keep it balanced. I think I don't. You can just keep it tight at the moment because we're such in a precarious position at the moment, right? That I think draws are just not good enough right for us at the moment. That's why I don't think we're going to get out of it because I don't think we're going to get any wins. We might get one win, but that won't be enough because I think West Ham have got more in them to get a win out of it. And I do think Leeds are fighting for their club. And you know what the Forest are doing at the moment. You know what I mean? So I do think if we do put the players in the right positions, keep it balanced, I think maybe that's the only way we got a chance. That's the only way I can think of it at the moment. You know what I mean? You know.
So you're a little bit more attacking, not all out, but just more.
I think you have to keep
attack.
it balanced. I think you have to keep it balanced, really.
And that's what he needs to do, doesn't he? Sensibly. Rolly, what are you doing here with the team here? You telling them to go out all out attack, or are you telling them to sit back, or what? Or like Alex said, a bit of balance, Rolly. And people in the chat, how do you think De Zerbi should approach this next seven
I
games?
think we should go like counter-attacking in the beginning, and then the last like 20 minutes go all out.
Okay.
When the players are knackered.
If you look at Sunderland away, right? Let's talk about Sunderland away. How should we approach that one, Rolly? You know, because they're good at home. Don't think they've lost many times.
Very good, and they're very strong. They're strong at the back. They're strong in the air. They've got a good midfield. I'm looking at it. My back line would be Van der Ven, Danso, Spence, and I'd put Van der Ven on the left. I would put Van der Ven on the left. And then I'd play Romero, Danso, and then Spence on the right.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. And then you've got Polino in your pivot with, what's his name? The guy. Oh, what's his name?
Xavi.
Sorry?
Paulinho, Bentancur.
Bentancur, yeah. Is he fit?
He might be back.
He might be back. Yeah, otherwise it's got to be Gray, isn't it? Do you think that'll be Gray with him?
No idea what he's going to do, this guy. No idea who he's going to play. He's going to have quite a few options now. We've got returning players. The only two players that are not going to be coming back this season is Odeberg, Madison and Kulusevski. But everybody else should be back.
Yeah, and all you hear is, Kulusevski's going to be fit for the World Cup. That's all you're hearing now, isn't it?
So Voli, you reckon play on a counter-attack in the beginning of games, and then as more the games goes on, if we're still in it...
Try to keep it as tight as you can.
We need wins, man. We need wins. We need goals. Cheers, Rolly. TJ, you, mate, how would you approach it?
How would I
think he should approach it?
Oh, well, okay. So the question is, how do you think De Zerbi should approach it?
Yeah,
in my opinion, cool.
If I like a relegation team, what?
No. Can I be honest with you? If I was De Zerbi, but I know he already said he's not going to approach it like this, you know, I would actually try play De Zerbi football. I think De Zerbi football is what Tottenham likes to see on front foot. Ideal, and it's going to take time to develop, right? 100%. That's an issue. But in terms of like what I would like to see, I like the fact that he likes to play under pressure, which creates spaces for our players to run off of the next player. So when you're watching actual De Zerbi's football, it's a lot of pressure-based scenarios, pressure-based scenarios. He likes to take risks. Can this current squad take risks? That's the only question, because it could just turn up if he plays his style in a relegation battle. We could be worse than what we are.
What hasn't worked this season, TJ? In the footballing terms, how have you seen Spurs under Frank, under Tudor? Where have we been going wrong? I know we're all doubting the players and not good enough, blah blah blah.
100%. But then I've also seen that our players can't play out from the back. Our players can't make a pass through the lines. These aspects are in Frank's and Tudor's game. I've seen it, so I'm using them as templates to say what De Zerbi has to offer. So although you're trying to paint it in a way where, what have I seen? Under Ange, if you're taking it all the way back and we were playing attacking football.
We were playing it forward under Ange with these players.
110%. 100%. However, can we risk that during a relegation battle? That's the main question. And I don't think from what De Zerbi said, he is willing to risk it in that type of way. Because one thing,
not all out his style. We can't do that. But
100%.
About how does he approach games, right? 7 games. Do you attack the games, or do you just sit there and wait to be beat? If you're Tottenham manager, TJ,
yeah, no, but I already answered that question. I answered that question by saying I would like him to play in De Zerbi's style.
Okay.
Maybe you missed that.
So you prefer
Maybe you missed that.
You prefer it to be attacking, yeah? You prefer it
100%. In an ideal world, if I set up as the manager, I would like to play attacking football. That suits the narrative of what Tottenham fans want. However, you have to take into consideration that it's very risky. And we haven't seen none of it.
Everything's a risk.
But the line is, we haven't seen our players pass through the press. These factors play into how De Zerbi sets up. And he even mentioned, my argument is based on facts, not what I feel. You're basing it on feel. That's the difference. I'm going based on what De Zerbi said. De Zerbi said he's not going to play his style, which Mr. Box asked office, and I also said
play attacking football, TJ. Just because he won't play his exact style doesn't mean he won't play the game more forward thinking.
I agree.
But then you have to. But then you have to use this argument as well. Do you feel like because the players have to react in such a short period?
For him coming in, TJ. They're all excited.
Sorry, say that again.
They're all excited. They're all excited about.
We've seen that quite often, man. We've seen that quite often, and it's always been a merry-go-round. The same things happen. But just going back to what your question was. Your question was simply, how do I want to see my team play? And I answered that in my understanding of what De Zerbi is going to try and do. If that's what I want to see us attack. Because I've seen under Frank, defend. Seen under Igor Tudor, defend. And it hasn't worked.
Okay.
And to be honest with you, we can equally argue that it didn't work under Ange, because in the Premier League, we wasn't good in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Factually.
Wrong managers, no. TJ, we've hired the wrong managers. I don't know. Was that argument dead now?
We have a different understanding about the firing of Ange Postecoglou.
Yeah, no, let's not go there.
And I stand by. I stand by. Can I just make something very clear? I stand by that. Everything started from Frank. That stream, it's ironic we're on this stream. That stream you done with Frank is like Pochettino, and I wasn't having it.
TJ, don't put words in my mouth, mate. I said
go watch the interview.
TJ,
could Frank? Your words were. Hold on, I've got it on the notes. I've listed it. I've actually listed it.
TJ,
your words were. Can Frank be like Pochettino?
Yeah, that's right.
And you were arguing. Watch your video back, because clearly you don't know what your words are. You were arguing. Frank when Frank came in, it was the same around the same time as Poch. You were saying how Poch is basically like a Frank. And I said, what are you basing it off of? Are you basing it off of what you see on the data? That's what you go watch it back. Watch it back.
Right. And what's your point here?
My point is this: it stemmed from a point in Frank. All of this wrong decisions have stemmed from Frank, in my opinion. We sacked a manager, and look, let me make it clear: I wanted Ange Postecoglou out. Yes, I'm not a Ange sympathizer, but it stemmed from this one thing. We sacked a manager that won things. We sacked a manager that won things. Yes, sack him all you want, but bring in a manager that has the pedigree. Don't bring in a manager that don't have the CV.
Yeah, it didn't work with Frank, man. It didn't work, did it? Yeah, TJ, it's not like something that, a lot of people thought Frank was the right guy. Yeah? I don't know. Are you trying to gain points here, TJ? I don't understand here. What are you doing?
No, because it's ironic because on that show you said how you painted that I'm only for Ange Postecoglou. You painted this picture of me like I wanted Ange Postecoglou to stay. And
no, you made your point clear on Ange staying because he had won something, and you ain't seen no other manager win something at the club in your lifetime. That's 100% about you and Ange.
100%.
I was worried that if we kept Ange, due to the league form, that we wouldn't get any better. We would still be in a relegation fight the next season. That was my concern with keeping Ange.
But you're arguing that we played attacking football under Ange and it was successful.
It wasn't successful. Who said that? I didn't say that.
The whole comment of you saying we have played attacking football, you were basing it off of Ange
more
Postecoglou.
chances, we scored more goals, under Ange.
Yeah, but you were using Ange Postecoglou to relay that argument.
I was saying that these players can play it forward.
Right.
We've seen it.
So we've just gone backwards.
You said they can't pass through the lines, TJ. You said they can't pass forward, they can't pass through the lines. That's what you said. And we've seen these players
we have seen that.
Forward.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
No, but we've seen.
We beat Man City. We beat the league champions doing that.
Sorry, say that again. I can't hear you.
We beat Man City doing that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, that was under Ange, wasn't it? But I don't think Ange was a great manager. I think we got lucky, to be quite honest, in the cup. We just played a very bad Man United team, and they scored an own goal.
But then if we're going to use Ange Postecoglou in that frame of mind, attacking or defending.
Get back to the Ange debate.
Forget Ange.
Yeah. Then attacking or defending don't matter. Don't matter the way we go forward. But then if we go like this, the attacking style, forget the Ange. Attacking didn't work, and defenses doesn't work. So what is actually going to work at Tottenham?
You need a good coach. You need a proper manager to sort this team out. That's what we need.
They proved they can play when they beat Man City. They played them off the park.
Was that based on the manager, or was that based on Tottenham?
I don't know. Just Tottenham just seem to get their tails up when they play Man City, but they can do it.
They're just very inconsistent, aren't they? Very inconsistent players.
Exactly, Dan. Exactly. They can do it.
So, TJ, did we get to the bottom of it, or you still got a question about Frank and attacking football?
No, I'm just saying.
Are you satisfied?
No, I was just adding that we play defensively, we play attacking. Nothing changes. It's the same shit. We're shit. So why would we logically say that Zerbi will keep us up? Why would we logically say that Zerbi can change anything? That's my point.
We don't know, do we? We don't know.
That's my point. We don't know. So we can't then say that attacking will change it. That's what I'm saying. I can't say that going attacking will change anything. Because I've seen them fail at so many characteristics.
I do think that I think the thing is though for me at the moment, I don't base it just on any manager anymore. I think it's a club now. I don't blame Frank for this. He maybe was the wrong sort of person to come in, but I don't blame him for the fact that, you know, the way that it was hired and stuff, and what the remit was for him was just unrealistic in the first place. So that's the club problem. You know, the Ange thing for me, you know, its downfall has been for a very, very long time. The only reason why now everyone's really talking about it is because we won that European Cup. You know what I mean? So, and you know, Conte was always right what he said. You know, what I think is the main issue is the structure, and the only way that structure is going to be sorted is Enoch going to be out, Enoch getting out. You know, Enoch out. You know, because they're not going to get the fact they need to have an identity structure, you know, plan. They're not going to get it. They're going
How
to
do we get the owners out?
They're going to get the Zerbi in to do the football side right now because they don't believe in the people that are doing it right now.
Yeah,
How
we
do
know,
you get the- how do you get Enoch out?
He's our football guy right now. He's our football guy right now. So everything that's going to happen right now is he's going to be involved in the decision making. That's why he's come to Tottenham. Because if
But
he
will
didn't have
anything
the
change though? That's my
decision-making-
problem. My problem is, would anything change? How
No,
are we going to get our owners out?
TJ, I'm saying the same thing as you. I don't think anything's going to change.
No.
Right? I just
That's
think
my
when we
point.
have a little bit of a burst, like we always do, then it will go back to type again. Because we haven't got a football guy there. Go and listen to Simon Jordan. He's sitting there saying, you're giving this guy so much control when he doesn't even stay for more than 5 years.
5 years.
It makes
True.
no
I saw
sense.
that. I saw
It
that.
makes no sense. It's because we are so desperate. And the thing is, though, what Tottenham fans done, and again, I'm not having a go at them, but it's just the fact is, I've seen this how many years on YouTube now. It's getting so boring now. Right, I'm doing bloody diss tracks now because I might as well do more creativity because that's what YouTube's supposed to be about, right? Right? Is that you know, I'm seeing the same things with the club. It's same things, and all of them were calling me out and saying I'm negative. And then halfway through the year, it's like, saying the same thing I'm saying, and they're taking the credit for it. So, like I said, difference is now I'm doing other things rather than watching streams and watching people just waffle. You get what I'm saying? You know? So my point is at the moment, I don't think they're going to get the fact they need to change it. They need to change their mentality into having a plan, identity, philosophy, right? And have a strong leader in terms of director of football and a chief executive that are football people, right? That run the ship. So when they've got a plan and say, okay, this is not working, right? They know what sort of coach they're going to get in next. Like Brighton, for instance. Because the only reason why we talk about Zerbi is because he went to Brighton and they did the bloody research on him. That's the only reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would not know nothing about Zerbi if he did go to Brighton. You know what I mean? There's other managers in Spain right now I could talk to you about. The used to be assistant at bloody what is his name? Iriola, right? At Rio Vallecano. But no one knows about him, don't they? The manager at Stuttgart. You know, there's loads of managers out there, but the thing is, because we don't actually do the research, actually do the, you know, actually have a philosophy, having somebody that has got a track record of actually doing starting a plan and identity, starting that from.
That's why we needed Dougie Freeman.
Like Rangnick, for instance.
And he turned us down. A big club like Spurs got turned down by Dougie Freeman.
But what Dougie Freeman's not going to come to Tottenham because he's looking at it and thinking, well, I don't want to come to this and see this mess.
Exactly, that's the decline we're in. That's the decline we're in.
Find money at it. And again, I just
Alex, we're going through the motions, man. We all know this.
We are going through the motions. That's the way I'm feeling at the moment because the more I'm talking about it, and I'm just sitting there looking at it right now. What is the Zerbi going to do that Tudor didn't do in his first?
Exactly. We are.
What is he going to do? What is he going to do?
what I'm trying to say, man. That's what I've been trying to. Thank you, Mr. Boxer says. This is why I love you. I promise you. Like you are, like honestly, I said this to you before, innit? Can I? If many of you don't know, innit, the reason why I started to do YouTube was because of this man down here. On a serious note, he got me into. No. And Mr. I'm not just doing this because I'm on live. I think I told you this before, but I'm gonna just reiterate it. Your takes are so unique because you don't just base it off of what you believe. You base it off of facts. And a lot of fans don't base football off of facts. You know, we want to do the feeling thing. Oh, how I feel this way. Oh, Spurs can stay up. Be positive. Go cheer on the fans, cheer on the players, and then you get beat 3-0. You base it off of facts. Facts don't lie. And that's why I started YouTube. Because what you said right there is so key. Where is Tottenham going?
It's not new, DJ. You've not said anything groundbreaking, Alex.
No,
we all say this. We all know this. There's nothing groundbreaking, TJ. You've said something no one's ever heard.
He's stuck with this from day one, Alex says.
Yeah, we all know this, man. We all know the club's going nowhere.
Listen, I'm not just because I've just been recently just doing the facts because I've been repeating myself too many times and I'm just getting bored of it now. So facts are just doing it for me. It's what I see. My eyes have not been lying to me. Yeah. When we were just the Harry Kane team, and I kept on saying we were the Harry Kane team, people were saying, "No, you having a go? Why are you having a go for Harry Kane? Yeah, because we are the Harry Kane team." Oh, look what happened downhill. Stats attendance stats straight away. Yeah, we did score goals over Ange Postecoglou. Yeah, we did. But look how many goals we let in, and how many games did we have? 1 game a week. So thank you very much. Look what happened. We had 2 games a week. Down the depths of 17th, right? You know what I mean? So I'm sorry. Like I said, it's like it's been there. The facts have been telling me this. Unfortunately, you know what I mean? I would take Eric Dyer right now, and people's having a go at Eric Dyer. People are now taking Emerson Royale. Remember how many people criticising Emerson Royale? You know, Bergwijn's better than most of these players. He's definitely more is better than most of these players, right? Chadley's better than these players. Chadley, Nasta Chadley, right? And we got rid of him, and look how good he was.
You're not going to say Harry Winks, are you, Alex?
What? You tell me Archie Blaze is better than Harry Winks? Harry Winks had the brilliant games at Real Madrid. Do you remember that game?
Yeah.
Remember that game?
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? I think people forget. And
didn't he?
That was actually a game that actually mattered, by the way. Actually a game that actually mattered. Not like Archie Blaze game, because I actually met to go Madrid on the beach. You know what I mean?
I'm so sorry. My phone is about to die. Thank you for having me on, my friend. I'm so sorry. I would love to stay, but where my phone is not where my charger is. I'm so sorry.
Cheers, man. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, man.
Leave us in the chat. Go and give him a sub.
Yeah.
Cheers.
I would love to also invite you on my channel as well, man. You know, a hand to hand. We will just have to work off the screen, innit? But you're always welcome. You guys are all welcome on my channel if you guys want to come on. And also, can I just mention something? I go to every home game and I interview fans outside the Spurs shop. I just want to make sure it's across all channels so they know, because I've been getting a lot of messages to say where I'm at. You know, as you guys know, I do interviews on TikTok. It's been quite successful so far, you know. And if you guys want to come on, feel free. All opinions matter. Look, I'm a cheerful guy. When you meet me, I might look a bit scary, but I'm a nice lad.
You're a big softy,
you know,
TJ. You're a big softy.
100%. Thank you for having me on again.
Take care.
See you guys later.
See you later. Yeah. Look, let's wrap things up, man.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Can you kick me out?
Yeah, of course. All right. See you later, man. Look, TJ, man, he makes me laugh. Look, let's get down to it, right? No bullshit no more. All right, I know, Alex, you already said earlier we're going down, you know. And I think I saw a comment in the chat. I think it's from Daryl. I think it was Daryl. Let me double check. He says it's a miracle, I think he said. You know, we're only going to stay up. Yeah, it was Daryl. He says no chemistry, going down, barring a miracle.
If they turn up now, okay, we can give them a little bit of credit, but I'll be angry as well because I'll sit there and say, okay, where was this? Right, so you've done two managers down, and now you're turning up because you like the training of this manager. Sorry, mate.
What does that tell you?
Sorry. Tells you a lot. Tells you that some of them, most of them, need to go. Sorry, you had your time at a shrine, and you didn't. It just didn't do that much for you. You know what I mean? Bye bye. See you later. Out the door.
But does it tell you that we've got the right man in, though, Alex? On the other hand,
Probably, yeah, but it tells you a lot about we might have got the right manager. But I'm sorry, but the managers have seen these players have seen off two managers this season, so they need to look at themselves. Really, sorry, I've got no love lost for these. I'll get rid of all of them. I'll take Sol Campbell most of these players right now, and I don't really care whether people have a go at me because at least Sol Campbell give us more heart. You know what I mean? Les Ferdinand would do much more than this. Just in Edinburgh, God rest his soul, would do more than these players right now.
Yeah, if we go down, right? If we go down, I want most of these players gone. I do want them gone. It's not good enough. Right, Rowley, you as well, mate. Did you want them cleared out if they go down? Right, well, Rowley's gone. Rowley, you there?
Is he gone?
Rowley?
He's on mute.
Here he is. Rowley, yeah. What do you reckon, mate? If we go down, do you want the players cleared out? Start again?
He's on mute.
It's on mute. I think you're on mute, mate. All right, well, we'll talk about him in a minute. Yeah, look, Alex, I've had enough, man, this season. I've had enough. I'm sick to death of it. Yeah, the last couple of seasons, man, it's been draining, having to come
Can
on.
you hear me
YouTube,
now?
You know,
Yeah,
I can hear you,
yeah.
mate. I'll come to you in a second.
No.
Yeah, it's Alex. It's just been draining, man. Every week, talking about a defeat, talking about a poor performance. Everyone's arguing. It's exhausting, mate, isn't it?
Listen, it's a fan base that's been divided for a long time, as far as I'm concerned. I've got the attitude: if you don't want to be in it, just take yourself away from it. And I've been taking myself away from it and just focusing on other things, and then focusing my channel on doing things creatively, and that's it really for me. Because you know, it wasn't doing me any good. Watching the same things every single game. I was at the Nottingham Forest game and nothing changed in my opinion at all from the first goal, even though we played okay. Doesn't say a lot to me, but you know, that's it. Until we got that first goal, we completely utterly collapsed, and that's it really, you know. So it's not a it's not a difficult one for me at the moment because I've been keeping myself away from it, and you know, trying to not get too sucked into it. So, but you know, we'll have to wait and see what happens, Dan. You know, next week. You know, Sunderland's not going to be an easy game, and Brighton next won't be an easy game as well. So we have to wait and see what sort of lineup he plays. It'd be interesting what sort of goalkeeper goes in goal as well. Because I don't know from what he would. I think it more likely will be Kinski because he's good with his feet. But the confidence of him right now, I don't know whether he'd be confident. And also, you got to look at the confidence of the players as well, because you know they still haven't won this year. You know, so that must be a very big toll on them right now. You know what I mean? So, you know, I couldn't give you an answer right now. All I would say is I'll stick to my own answer right now that I don't see us getting out of this because the teams that are playing, I mean, it'd be interesting to see what sort of result comes out of the West Ham Leeds game in the FA Cup today. But yeah, I do think that we're heading down right now until I see something different at the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, fair enough, man. Let's go to Queen Ellie. Big up, Ellie. We have to win. We need the 3 points. So we have to have balance as the best teams defend, midfield, attack, all working hard as a team, using De Zerbi's playing through the lines, one touch, and progress the ball. Now, one thing De Zerbi did say is that the defence starts in the attack, didn't he? That's where it starts. You know, we defend from the attack. Everybody's working in tandem, closing down, pressing, working hard. Can these players do it? I don't know. Until I see it consistently, not just one-off game as well, not just one game and then we go back to norm the game after. We're asking a lot, aren't we, Alex, for this group of players to go out and start playing like that? We really are.
We haven't seen it all season. You haven't seen it all season. We've had crumbs like in games that weren't pressure, and like I say, this team, when it's under pressure, crumbles. You know, it crumbles. You know, we had results against Liverpool, no pressure. We had a result against Atletico Madrid, our first win this year in football. This year, no pressure. Then game against Nottingham Forest when we needed to win. Crystal Palace when we needed to win. It was our holy grail of a game that we need to win. Yeah, our Champions League final, you know, FA Cup final, lost both of them. Yeah, absolutely bottled it. Yeah. So the thing is, though, like I said, what is going to change in 2 weeks with the same players that bottled it? How long? You're telling me your manager's now making them feel better?
So where's all this positivity coming from them, Alex? You know, people
It's just fantasy. It's fantasy. It's fantasy because the thing is, though, like I said, nothing's. You've still got the same players. There's no Harry Kane there. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
There's no Maddison there. Not even a Kudos. No, well, like I said, Kudos is not fit. He's not match fit. So you're putting a lot of pressure on a guy that is not even match fit at the moment. You know what I mean? So you can't tell me that this is going to change straight away. It just doesn't work like that. It doesn't.
Eugene.
Hi guys, I'm back.
Right. when you speak, man, don't go on a 10-minute rant. Yeah, just try and keep to the point. Yeah, and then we can talk because when you came on at the beginning, man, you went off, man. You went on a 10-minute 10-minute rant, man.
I had to go off, right? So I just
your reception is awful, man. Your reception, your connection is so bad, so bad.
How's it now?
Well, we'll see how we go.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
So what are you saying, Eugene?
What's there to say to what, right? All I can say is at the moment now is that we only can sit there and hope, right? That's all. We've been trying for the 1 year that we've been in. Right?
Eugene, it's not.
You don't see the players playing for the manager.
I can't hear you, Eugene, man. You got to. No, you can't. It's not.
All right,
man. It's terrible line. If you,
I'll try to hop on back. Yeah, I'll try to.
If you get
when I get home, if you're still on, I'll hop on.
All right, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'll catch you later.
Cheers. Sorry, I can't do that. It's just the connection is awful. Alex, you still there or you frozen?
I'm still here.
You're still here, man. You're still here. Look, you know, going back to the fans, you know, they're all getting positive about Zerbi. They got a feeling. And then there's the whole thing of the fans that didn't want Zerbi due to the Mason Greenwood comments, due to that he just blows up at clubs he goes to. Yeah, look, as you said, Alex, a few minutes ago, like the fan base can never agree. You know, when's the last time we were all on the same page? Probably Poch, right? Conte's first season, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time since the fan base have been really all on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen, it is what it is. It's not nothing really I'm really worried about right now. The fan base not being, you know, together as one. As far as I'm concerned, you're gonna have different opinions. You're gonna have different opinions. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I just think at the moment is that I can't change my mind. And no one's going to change my mind that something's going to change straight away. It just isn't going to happen like that. You know what I mean? Well, we could see a little bit of a bounce, but again, I need to see it first. You know what I mean? And again, it's going to be mixed feelings on this because if they do bounce, start playing, there's a part of me saying, well, you're absolute idiots. The way that you've not won in 13 games, you've not won this year, and you've completely collapsed and not shown any now sort of dealing the pressure. But now, because you like this manager, and he's giving you a little bit of a nice training session, and you're turning up. Sorry, you're just showing your hand. You know what I mean? And we said this about other players like Eric Dyer, Emerson. There was other midfielders as well, which I can't think of the top of my head that people. Sissoko. I was hearing you get rid of Sissoko, get rid of Winks. We'll be okay. We'll get quality in, and that people actually care and actually fight and actually deal with the pressure. I don't see any different. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I do think he will hopefully adapt from what he said. I'm only going what his word is saying to Zerbi, what he said in his first interview, that he will adapt. Whether that's good enough or not, we have to wait and see. I still think the same way, Dan. I can't change what I'm saying at the moment because then it's fantasy. It's just absolute fantasy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. This is why I'm not. That's why I think we're going down still until I see us win. We went once in December. Until I see it. And one win's not going to be enough either. You need at least 2-3 wins. And this team, they're not showing anything. And no,
we're not even going to get 40 points, Dan. That's the thing. That's the thing. It's how embarrassing it is. 40 points should be that should be a standard. A standard. We're now saying 38 points is what we need to get up to stay up. I'm sorry. You're not seeing me being happy, and you can tell me how much negativity I am, but you're not saying to me anything else to me that this team that's supposedly a top 6 team, financially great and everything else, that can't even get 40 bloody points. I don't care if it didn't get teams down. That should be a standard. A standard. If it's not a standard for Tottenham Hotspur, what are we doing here? Sorry, sorry, it's not the thing.
It's embarrassing, man. It's shameful. Spurs are embarrassment. Let's be honest. Eugene, have you got a better connection now, buddy? I don't know if he's there. I don't think he's there. No, he's just staring. It's just a statue. Guys, look, let's go to the chat. See if anyone's got anything to say before we shut down. Big up to user Moro Vegan 1980. Faith is felt with pain and suffering. That's where the core strengths come from, and irrational belief. That makes no sense. Yeah, that's about the fans, isn't it? Guy says, I have much faith in Tottenham as I do in a $2 hooker. Yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know what to say. You see what Cookie's saying. We've got where we are because player and manager-wise for 7 games, Vinay and Lange must be sacked. They're fucking useless. Get some football people in upstairs to get some proper players in. Look, that could happen in the summer. Just because they brought in Zerbi doesn't mean that those two could be here in the summer. They could be gone. Who's made that decision, Alex, on that manager? Do we know? Who made the actual decision? Was it one of the board members, or was it Vinay? Was it Lange, or was it?
I think from what I heard, it was from what the press was saying. It was more to do with the hierarchy, and Lange and Vinay were the major pushes for. But everyone, it was ammonious. Sorry, I can't get the word out. Unanimous decision to get him to Zerbi. So it was a kind of the whole hierarchy were the ones that made the decision on this anyway. So but Lange has put his statement forward and said that they've always wanted him, and that was the only choice. Zerbi was their only choice as well. So because I didn't look at people like Mason or Leonard or bringing Tottenham people to go to the end of the season, which I thought was best option so far. So I think it was a hierarchy decision, Lange decision. But I do feel this is kind of a slant at Lange and Vinay, because they're sitting there saying, and the fact that they gave them so much control and money says to me they've lost a lot of faith in Lange and Vinay, and I would be very surprised if they're still here in the summer. If they are here in the summer, I'm concerned. I'm concerned. With a director of football, I just don't think that can work. I don't think it can work for me, Dan. Since and I swear I haven't got the stat on this, but since Lange has come in, right? This is in October. Was it in the summer? It wasn't in the summer when Lange came in. That was Gabbiadini. That was Gabbiadini, yeah, right. And Gabbiadini got sacked, and then I think it was October, November. Lange came in. And I think that was the time when we just had our run of games and we were top of the table and we were unbeaten, I think it was. Right? Since they come in, Tottenham fell off from that November time, I think it was. Just ended up 5th when we should have got 4th. And then obviously we did the season we did last season. And look at us this season. So we had a downward trajectory since he's been here, basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go, man. I'll be surprised he's still in the job, man. Honestly.
And look at Aston Villa right now since he's left.
Yeah, he's got to go, isn't it? We need a new director of football. We need a lot. We need Enid to go, but we're stuck with him, man. We are stuck with him. Look, man, I don't have much more to say, to be honest. No. I think, we go around in circles when you do these shows. It always goes back to Enid at fault. Everything's a big fuck up. Many don't think we're going to survive. Some people do think we'll survive. We'll see what happens against Sunderland, right? Don't get your hopes up. That's what I would say. And don't get sucked into training videos, because training videos, there's no evidence that anything's going to come across on the pitch.
I might be more angry when it happens, Dan. I might be saying this right now. I've accepted it, but maybe the reality will also kick in if it does when it happens, especially if it's Chelsea. That will just sum up how bad it is, really. If Chelsea send us down, you know what I mean? And so, and maybe it will hit me when it happens. You know what I mean?
You're going to lose it. Yeah, but where does that get us? Where does it get us? Because Alex, you've been to the protests. I've been to the protests. So I'm sure many in the chat have been to the protests. Just never enough. Never will be enough. Fan base don't have the appetite for it, and so nothing will ever change. We're stuck with Enid. This merry-go-round will continue. And they're failing massively, especially the last.
It's not. I don't even want to go on about the Enid thing because that's really outside my control. All I can do is go and say, "Oh, Enid out," because I know reality-wise, it's not as straightforward as Enid going just leaving the club. It's not straightforward, no. But I've got to a point now where if they don't get the fact that they need to have a plan and stop this stupid plan of this philosophy of playing on all fronts, competing on all fronts crap, which is a load of crap for me as far as I'm concerned. We failed that completely this season, right? And I just don't understand. If you want to be a big club, you've got to have an identity and a philosophy and a plan. What you want to do in the next 5 years, which are realistic targets for the football club. I don't know what else you're going to do. You know what I mean? You saw it with Daniel Levy. I know Daniel Levy. I think unfortunately Daniel Levy I think it was too outside of football related to get what Tottenham needed. I think he made some good decisions, but he made some really bad decisions, especially bad decisions on the football side. But now we've got somebody that I think they're trying to be unrealistic to try and please the fans, and they're just making it worse. You know what I mean? And employing people that are just not fit for purpose, you know what I mean? You know, and that's where I've just got to the point now. I just don't think if Enid are here any longer, they're just going to make more worse decisions on the football side. Even if they want to try, they're just not going to do it. So really, to be honest, I've got to that point now where I'm thinking that you've had enough chances now, and I don't care whether this is a new era with Enid. I don't care. I've seen enough. I need to see something different now. I want to roll the dice now. I really do. I've got to that point now because I don't think they're going to ever get it. You know? You know, and I think the way that they got rid of Daniel Levy and not even do a handover to realise, you know, maybe we need to get people that were doing, because Daniel Levy had a lot of roles in the football club, and maybe we need to figure out those roles first and then get the sort of people that are good for those roles, you know, at the football club. But what they did was just sack him and realise they need to find people to do his job, do the roles. And that's mind-blowing. Business people not even realising, mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's shocking, man.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'm going...
No, but there's nothing clear. You listen to Land, you listen to Vinay, it's a load of waffle. No one believes in anything they say. They don't know what they're doing. I don't believe in it, any of it. Just the whole thing. Yeah, I don't have anything more to say about it. Everyone knows my feelings on ENIC. Yeah, it's just boring, isn't it, talking about it? You just get so frustrated with the club. And yeah, look, let's see what happens. What is it, a week today, isn't it? The game against Sunderland. You know, we'll see, man. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it there, Alex, to be honest. Big up to everyone in the chat. Thank you for your comments. Please go and subscribe to Alex. Yeah, I'll put his link up in the chat. Subscribe to also TJ and Rowley and Eugene as well, who are in the show. There's Rowley's one. I did put your link in the chat up there, Alex, somewhere in the show earlier.
Thank you.
Guys, yeah, nothing really else to say. Enjoy your Easter. Depressing talking Spurs. I tried to look at it at different angle as possible, but it all goes back down to just we're rubbish and the whole thing is a shambles. And it's draining, man. It's draining. And yeah, I'm tired now, man. I'm going to go and chill out. But big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to you all. Thank you very much. Smash the likes on the way out. Cheers, Alex. Take care of yourself, man. And yeah, catch you all soon. Bye-bye.